Let's get nasty on a Thursday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Carey, we decided to suspend a full day.
Yeah.
After his attitude yesterday.
Last night, so.
Was he rooting for Bosnia last night?
I don't think he was rooting for Bosnia, but just his overall attitude yesterday at Ballpark Village was unsavory. And we got together as a group and we decided, you know what, no more. So.
Like, usually we can tolerate, but when we have great people that are standing there and listeners and they're wanting to be a part of the show, and just the way he handled it was unbecoming of the Fast Lane.
Yeah.
So you'll have to sit this one out.
What is it called in the NFL? Conduct
Unbecoming.
It's detrimental.
Detrimental to
the
NFL.
team. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
we gave Carey a red card, so he's out today.
Well, he was the only one that deserved one last night, that's for sure, because our guy did not, that's for sure. I'm not. Why don't we just start here? Everybody knows that this isn't the most soccer-heavy program. Okay? So if you're expecting a full breakdown, that of a soccer expert, not going to get it. However, we do have plenty of segments dedicated to the U.S. men's team advancing. Last night, the dub was awesome.
Ooh, baby.
This team, awesome. I have found myself doing more and more research on these players, on Pochettino, his background, things leading up to the World Cup, his background dating back to when he was the manager for several clubs overseas, most notably Tottenham in the English Premier League. He's also the manager for Chelsea, and just some of the things that got him sacked overseas. Don't know what they saw. No offense to them, but this dude is a miracle worker. And I love it. But last night we got it. Let's just stick to this, because let's not bury the headline here. Balogun's red card. It's atrocious.
Terrible.
It's an atrocious call. I get it. You slow that thing down, and they had to, by the way, because there was not even a yellow card that was given on the field. When they slowed it down, I get it. He comes down on the ankle of the Bosnian player.
It shouldn't have been there.
Shouldn't have been standing there.
Yeah.
But I thought there was supposed to be some sort of malice when it comes to these red cards. I thought there's supposed to be some sort of intent to either injure or harm. And when you watch that in real time, it's two players that are battling for the ball, battling for position. And unfortunately, the Bosnian player his ankle got stepped on. And again, when you slow that thing all the way down, it looks egregious. That's not a red card. Balogun we should not lose our, if not the top player, one of the top players, and a guy that, if he wasn't offsides, would have had multiple goals last night.
A couple of tucks for him there.
We should not lose him against Belgium.
What pisses me off is, do the referees not have any sense of like where we're at in the tournament? Because a red card automatically means the player misses the next game too. Like, if you're pulling out that red card, like, you better be damn sure.
Well, it's VAR. That's what it came down to.
Right.
There wasn't a call, I don't believe, on the initial play.
Even when he watches it on
there was no yellow card. There's no call.
The referee is allowed to pull a yellow card at that point. He doesn't have to pull the red card. So if he wants to, like, send a warning, a shot across the bow, here's your yellow card.
Yeah.
And basically keep your nose out of trouble. But he comes with the red card, which the player's gone for that game and the next one.
Exactly.
I don't like that.
So not only did the men's soccer team last night have to play with 10 players, because you cannot replace a player that receives a red card, he's suspended for the next game.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's devastating.
Stupid.
So VAR, I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody that is a big soccer fan, VAR is not the on-field referee. It's a group
it's
that
like going
assists.
to Toronto, going to New York.
But that's my point, where the call on the field, that wasn't the case.
Correct.
And so they slow it down, which what I've read is against VAR protocol. You can't. That's not a part of it. The whole thing was a bunch of baloney.
Appeal this crap, because I heard something earlier today that The only thing they can do in a situation like this is add on to the suspension, like if they look at it further, like afterwards. But they said that they didn't think they could reduce it.
Yeah, I don't think. From what I can read, there could be an appeal, but like you're saying, I don't think Balogun's not going to play against Belgium. Clearly.
All right, so apparently, once it goes to VAR, the option for a yellow card is no longer there. The only option at that point is red card or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I would have chose nothing.
I understand that. Like you can't always judge. You can't judge on intent. That's not what the rule is set up for. It doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. I didn't mean to. Well, you did, right? So you can't rule on intent. But I do think that if you're judging in that situation, was he trying to endanger an opponent?
No,
was he using excessive force? Does that constitute as a serious foul play? No. In all, right across the board, no. So I super disappointing situation. Obviously, though, if we can transition to the bigger point here, Team USA finally faced some adversity, and they absolutely battled through. And I thought that was an important game last night, as we talked about before the match, that this Bosnian team is going to be physical. They're difficult to play against. Their set pieces are apparently outstanding, but the way they move the ball is a little clunky. And they did have some prime opportunities to score at the start of the game and at the end of the game. And Team USA with battled through the storm, down a man for most of the second half, and they still picked up a dub. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't going to be pretty, and yet Team USA still won.
Yeah, it was a gritty effort. And the only thing that I hate about it is the fact that you lost one of your best players for the next game.
Yeah.
Which is every game from here on out is the most important game of the tournament for whoever it is. And I just think it's dumb. But the team put together one hell of an effort. And, you know, what's fun about all of this is, yeah, there's the avid soccer fan. There's the passionate soccer fan that is now, having the best time of their life. They love this. But there's so many people, like Martin Kilcoyne was down there yesterday during our show. It was starting to fill up a little bit. We got out of there. Well, Marty Kilcoyne sends me some pictures and video from like an hour later. And it was like you couldn't find a spot to stand, let alone sit. And I told Marshy, my nephew just come to town last night. We had a little dinner. We're like, hey, let's take a little golf cart ride up to Frankie Martin's. Check things out. It was slammed. People, everybody wearing the red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
They got it on the big screen. They're scoring the goals. People are going crazy. I was sitting there. When we scored the one goal, I'm like, this is awesome. And then it's the offside, which we're going to get to that crap in a minute.
Oh, my gosh, that was so dumb.
And everybody,
dumb.
It's just, the atmosphere has been amazing, which is why it pisses me off that one of our best players now misses the opportunity to play in the next game, which is a winnable game for the United States.
Yeah, this is a real consequence here for the United States, because Balogun has become kind of the focal point of this of our attack. Vertical runs, finishing.
It's a big dude out there.
The way that the pace is set up for Team USA, which by the way is highly entertaining. To none, I'm not talking to the purists right now, okay? And if you're a purist, you're either not listening or you're mad at everything we're saying. Like, let's just be real, right? Because you're finally hearing some soccer talk from the fast lane, and it's probably pissing you off. We're sorry that you feel that way. This is our version of what we're seeing, okay?
The great game.
Sorry. However, the way that they play is aesthetically pleasing. The way that they press. They lose the ball, they press.
Yeah, they play fast. You notice that
fun.
On the throw-ins,
yes,
too.
They're quick.
Yeah, they don't screw around.
They don't. They're constantly they have a turnover. Everybody's still pressing. I love it. I love it. I have no idea how that matches up with Brazil and France and England and some of these top teams. I don't know. I have no idea. Not going to pretend to know. But I love watching them play. It's fun. I was entertained last night outside of the dumbass rules that we have, including offsides.
So let's talk about that for a second.
I get it. It was offsides. That's a dumbass rule.
No, but so remember the other day I said, instead of it being like where you have to have your complete body onside. Why not just be like half of your body?
Balogun had at least one leg in there.
And what's his name too?
Pulisic was offside as well.
Yes.
Tic-tac-toe, beautiful
He had front leg
setup.
that was offside. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, why? If you want, so I think it was Doug or Marty Kilcoyne this morning talking about, hey, MLB, NFL, NHL, NBA for that matter, they have tweaked rules in order to make the game more exciting, faster, score more points, whatever it is you're looking to do. Why is soccer such a religious, where no, we cannot change the dumbest rule in the book, which is this offside thing, where as a defender, I can literally just stop running in order to put this guy offside on purpose.
Correct.
Well, that's what happened last night.
Yes.
The two defenders on Bosnia were like 30 yards off to the side, but because they took one step forward, Balogun was offside, even though he was legit right there in the middle, uncovered.
He was onside till they moved.
Right.
So how the hell are we supposed to do that?
He's supposed to have eyes
like
in the back
hockey,
of his head,
can the team move the blue line?
No.
No. Like, I don't know.
Here's the thing. I understand the spirit of the rule. The spirit of the rule is no cherry picking.
And sure.
Then have somebody on him.
Okay, but here's my counter argument.
Then have a defender on him.
But here's my counter argument. Yes, you're right. My counter argument is if you want to send a cherry picker, you better be damn sure he gets the ball.
Right.
Because otherwise you're playing a man short up the field.
Sure.
So, like, there's risk in it.
Yes.
So let it just be.
There's at least some strategy to it.
Let it just be then.
Yeah.
Or somebody else made a good point, too. I read it somewhere. Said once they pass center field, like half
I said that the other day.
Yeah, you said it. Then there's no longer offside.
Right.
I mean, the field is condensed enough at that point.
Yes.
If someone gets behind you,
come on.
That's good playing.
Right. You're taking away some of the most exciting aspects of soccer, which, I'm sorry, to me, is anytime they get close to the net. And some of it's like,
anytime they take a shot towards the goal, it's exciting because, like, there's not a lot of shots on goal.
And you want to take that away.
Yeah.
You want to take away some of those opportunities.
Some of those great running plays where a guy bursts to speed, is able to sprint behind the defender, in tight, get the ball and score.
The safety's slower than the running back, though. That's a foul.
Speaking of great shots, though, Malik Tillman, his free kick.
Wow.
Oh, man, that was nasty.
That was pretty.
That was nasty.
Yeah, that was pretty. I enjoy watching these guys play.
And that was a huge goal at the time, too.
Yeah, I love that Tim Ream was giving it to St. Louis's finest. He was giving it back to the one guy at the end there.
Oh,
the one Bosnian player was chirping him. He's like, really, dude?
Man, he's really steady back there.
He is. He's awesome.
Too. I think it has to be a soccer thing where you can square, like lacrosse, like box lacrosse.
What is up with you trying to fight people?
I'm not trying to fight anybody. I want them to fight.
Let him finish.
But because there's so, like, in soccer, it gets so emotional, so intense, and they're sitting there and they're all kind of like just trying to like shoulder and the head pushes. I'm like, what are you doing here? What are you, Billy Goat? Like, get after it.
Oh, Jamie,
5 minutes on the sideline and get it back in the game.
Billy Goat.
Well, you know those Billy Goats just come up and nudge you with their head, you know?
There'd be 15 minutes of stoppage time if there was a fight.
No, you play
Everybody
through
would be
it.
laying on the field.
No, you play through it. The fight
They
happens.
don't stop anything.
No,
Guy could be dead out there. They don't stop the clock.
Yeah, if the fight happens, you just keep playing.
You okay?
And when they're done, they get to jump up and join back in.
Right.
It'd be wonderful.
I will say, so moving forward without Balogun, I mean, Christian Pulisic, and he should have scored last night. We just mentioned that. Yeah. But now he needs to elevate his game. It's your turn, buddy.
100%.
And he's been banged up throughout this World Cup.
Yes.
At this point, we don't care.
Yeah.
At this point, we don't care.
Everybody's playing hurt.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
But that is a team, though. That's a team. Like, as great as Balogun is, he's kind of like a rising star right now, at least for us. He's real good. I love that he does the, what's that move? Like, you see, he pushes his two hands down. He did it after the offsides goal. And
that's the LeBron move.
The LeBron move.
Yeah, but he looks cooler doing it than
He
LeBron
certainly does. Yeah. Yeah, he certainly does. Yeah. All right, so Team USA 2-0 over Bosnia sets up a match with Belgium. What's up? You're just laughing at yourself?
He looks cooler than LeBron doing it.
I just agreed, too.
LeBron does it like with a 35-point lead on a team.
Yeah.
In soccer, like that one goal matters.
Right, it certainly does. It certainly does. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. More Team USA coverage throughout the course of the day. But we'll transition to the Cardinals here. Reasons to be optimistic and pessimistic about your Cardinals in July. That's next on 101 ESPN. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. So we just got done talking about the offsides rule in soccer, and and none of us enjoy it. And via the
I
air
don't know how
comfort service,
anybody could possibly enjoy it.
well, I'm with you on that. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. We always encourage you guys to pull up a stool, so to speak, and, comment on anything we're talking about. And we got a former soccer player chiming in on what we were just talking about. So,
all right, so
first.
There are 2 text messages from the 314. The first one was, that was a horrible red card, just horrible.
Amen.
I think we can all agree on that. The second one was, played soccer from second grade through high school. The defensemen are taught to trap the forwards offside, just like what they did in that game. The trap was perfectly implemented.
Totally get it. Completely understand. That's why we didn't mention anything about the Bosnian players in that instance, or the 2 instances. They did what they did.
They
what
played
they had
within
to do.
the rules
They
of the
played
game.
within the rules of the game. What we're talking about is eliminating that rule altogether.
Yeah.
For the sake of the sport.
Yeah,
And,
that
quite
or
frankly,
what
our-
Jamie said, just
our
tweak it a
watchability.
little bit.
Just tweak it a
Tweak
little
it
bit
a
so
little
that if any part of your body or leg or foot is still onside, you're onside.
It's like dragging your foot at the blue
Yeah.
line of,
Yeah.
of a hockey game.
That way you get rid of the most egregious cherry picking.
100%. And then if they review it, which they can and they do, they can see flat out, okay, yeah, he's onside, man, goal.
There you go.
I love to review it.
Yeah, they do. This does remind me, not only you bring up the hockey comparison, of course, with the blue line, this also reminds me of when a quarterback is going to throw
The line of scrimmage.
the line of scrimmage. If he has a fingernail behind the line of scrimmage, he's good. So your entire body can be over the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
You could have one foot that is not, and you're good. So
I agree
other
with that.
sports execute that similar rules same way.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, so-
I don't know why they wouldn't tweak it. It's not like eliminating offside. You're just massaging it a little bit, and you'd create more exciting plays out there.
Agreed. So we get the text. We agree with you on the way that the defense played it. They played it great within the rules. Just we would like to see it tweaked. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh carries off today. Jamie, Anthony, Cardinals lose last night 5-1. Ronaldo Lopez dealt. That was really the story last night.
He was a bullpen guy here for the most recent stint, too.
Yeah, he has been a starter in the past. He was on a pitch count. He went 5 innings, allowed just 1 run, surrendered 2 hits, struck out 6, walked 1. His control was outstanding last night. In fact, they were talking on the broadcast like maybe his pitch count gets extended because he has really not had any rough innings.
Yeah, his pitch mix last night was pretty impressive. I mean, I saw at least two strikes, fastballs right down the heart of the plate. Mm-hmm. No swing.
Right. Yeah. So
like that's when you know you're confused at the plate.
Certainly. Anytime you see any sort of if the batter's dancing a little bit or they take a strike rooster high right down the middle, I mean, you're guessing and you're guessing wrong. Michael McGreevy pitched pretty well. Went 6 innings, surrendered 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 3 Ks. So he wasn't the problem last night. The offense got shut down. The offense got shut down by a guy who was on last night. I don't think we need to belabor the point. If you're looking at reasons to be optimistic and pessimistic about the Cardinals in July, why don't we go with you want to do pessimistic first, get that out of the way, then we end with optimism? I say we do that.
Do we have any?
Oh, we got a bunch, yeah. Yeah.
Pessimism.
Oh, a little bit of pessimism. No?
I don't know. Go ahead, Anthony.
The offense is slowed down.
Yeah.
The offense is slowed down. And go ahead.
I'll even add on to that. The offense and pitching are not synced up consistently.
Sure.
Last night you get good pitching, you don't get good offense.
Same deal in at least one of the games against Miami as well, if not both. Because I think McGreevy was the one that faced Miami on that Friday night, and Max Mayer went out and he dealt.
John's brother.
You scored 1 run last night, save for the 5-run effort 2 nights ago in Atlanta. Your offensive output, 2 runs, 1 run, 0 runs, 4 runs, 3 runs, 3 runs since June 22nd. That's a span of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. So reasons to be pessimistic, this offense is in a bit of a funk.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the offense is going to be crap from here on out. It's just if we're looking at reasons to be pessimistic throughout the month of July, one of my pessimisms would be the offense struggling right now.
Well, I think that's one of the biggest ones right now is, and there was games earlier in the season that your pitchers didn't have to be perfect. They could give up 3 or 4 runs, but you were still outscoring the other team. So what's happening now is you're getting okay performances from pitchers, but you have no chance to win the game. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, I forget what year it was, where the Cardinals, once the other team scored 2 runs, you knew the game was over.
That was like the last 2-3
Well,
years.
yeah, but so
yeah, it got real bad 2 years ago.
When I look at this, McGreevy goes 6 innings, 2 earned runs. Mm-hmm. Only 3 Ks, not fantastic, but 2 earned runs through 6.
It's pretty good.
He gave his team a chance to win the game or be in it, and they couldn't do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you also have to consider what they did last year. If you want to, if that is in your mind, I understand as a fan, they were actually doing pretty well up until July, and then things went south, and they just could not recover. Mm-hmm. To be optimistic, this team has had funks before throughout the year, and they've been able to get out of it.
Yep. I think that's the biggest reason to be optimistic. You got through May, and we thought, well, will the wheels fall off in June? No, not really. Not completely. Will they completely fall off in July? Maybe, but they have given you reason to still tune in, show up, and hope for the best. Within reason, of course.
Should we worry about... So the Cardinals right now are tied with the Marlins for a wild card spot. 3 games behind the Phillies and the Cubs. Mm-hmm. The Chicago Cubs, plus 63.
Yeah.
Phillies, plus 10. The Marlins, plus 21. The Cardinals, minus 10. So this offense that we talked about so much at the start of the season, one has disappeared, but now you're the only team in this wild card mix that's in the negative. And by a lot.
The only thing I would say is if you're in the wild card mix and you're not the top team that is the best of the non-division winners. So in this case, it would be, I think, the Phillies.
No, the Cubs are ahead of the Phillies, I believe.
Okay,
they're tied. But the run differential's way lopsided for the Cubs.
So you know what? Why don't instead of in most cases the top wild card team, let's just say the top 2 wild card teams. So you're fighting for that last wild card. You're dealing with other flawed teams.
Yeah, minus 10, Stoltz.
Oh, no, it's not.
The Marlins are plus 21, and then the Nationals are plus 17.
Sure. So those teams should have better records in theory than the Cardinals.
Correct.
One reason they probably don't is they have flaws, just like you do.
I agree.
So that's the only thing I would say. You're a team that is rebuilding, and you're not total crap. You're in the mix. They're not. It's not the ceiling. It's just reality. You're not the Giants. You're not the Rockies. You're not the, I don't know, whoever's terrible right now, the Mets.
Yeah.
In the National League East. You're going to go up against. You're battling with other flawed teams. It's a race. It's a race to the finish now with other teams that are just as inconsistent as you are. All right, let's get to Chris Kerber. We'll talk to him about the Blues signings. And I don't think we touched on him since the draft. No. So we'll get Kerber's thoughts thus far on the Blues offseason here on 101 ESPN.
Oh, baby. July 4th is right around the corner. What better way to have friends and family come on over for that barbecue sitting out by the pool in the backyard with a cooler full of ice cold Zwickel Light. Yeah, it is fantastic. It's a light beer, tastes like beer. It's not watered down like a lot of those other light beers that are out there. But it does taste like beer, and it is only 95 calories, 3.7 carbs, crisp, clean, refreshing. They got cans and bottles. Highly recommend the cans for outside near the barbecue or by the pool for sure. But you're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love drinking that Zwickel Light over the holiday weekend. But not to be outdone, they've got a hazy IPA out there called Squirrel Works It is really good. Myself, not an IPA drinker. I've had a bunch of Squirrel Works. I love it. It's awesome. Tastes fantastic. Also unbelievable when it's ice cold in the cooler. You can buy the 4-pack or you can buy the single cans of the Squirrel Works. But be sure, between now and Saturday, get out to your local establishment, including my friends over at Dirt Cheap. Pick up some Zwickle. Pick up some Zwickle Light. Grab yourself a Squirrel Works. You will thank me for it, I promise you. So have a great 4th of July. For any more information regarding any of these beers, visit urbanchestnut.com. Again, that's urbanchestnut.com.
Hey, Classic Air Care wants you to know that they are there for you, even if you've had somebody else come take a look at the unit. Maybe they're suggesting a repair, and you're just not sure. Well, Classic Air Care wants you to know they've got a free second opinion estimate for you. All you got to do is call them up, say, this is what I've got going on. They're going to come out to the house. They're going to look at everything. They're going to assess it, and they're going to give you a second opinion on it, and it is going to be absolutely free, and there's no obligation. It's one of the ways that you can trust Classic Air Care, because they know that when it comes to your house, taking care of that air conditioning unit is the most important thing to keeping your house comfortable. So get online, book an appointment today at classicaircare.com. Have them come out to a maintenance check if you haven't had that done. But as the summer heat starts to rage on, make sure that that unit is ready to go. And if something goes wrong, maybe you've used somebody else and you just want to double check to make sure you've got everything right, call Classic Air Care. They're there for you today with over 9,000 5-star reviews. You know you can count on them. It's Classic Air Care, making people comfortable since 1926.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals fall to the Braves last night by a final score of 5-1. They're back in action tonight at 6:15, looking to pick up a victory, much like Team USA did last night. 2-0 the final. We talked a little bit about that earlier in the show. Maybe we'll talk some soccer with Kerbs. We'll also talk some Blues hockey as they have been moving and shaking this offseason. Voice of the Blues, Chris Kerber, coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We think Spain just went up 1-0.
We'll see.
We'll see, because it's an offsides party in every World Cup match thus far. So we'll see if Spain actually got one. They just had one taken off the board, so this one looks like it's going to count.
Well, we'll see.
With Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Callier and Thompson phone line. We're joined by the voice of the Blues, Chris Kerber. And Kerbs, I know we've got plenty of hockey to discuss, but I also know that you're a big soccer fan. What have you thought thus far about the World Cup, as well as Team USA getting the dub last night?
Oh, I've loved what I've watched. So many of these games are good. The win last night for Team USA to advance to the round of 16 is awesome. But I don't think anybody agrees. I have not actually heard one opinion from a soccer expert to a fan or whatever that agrees with the red card handed out to Balogun. So
that's ridiculous.
That's frustrating, and that's a big loss. And the crazy Taylor Twellman was on a podcast, and he showed an example of the exact same play where Messi did it and nothing happened to Messi. Like, if there's anything with this World Cup, I think about, how officials are defended so much in the NHL, Gary Bettman, how they handle things like that. But, for me, officiating comes down to one thing. Even bad officiating can be consistent in certain areas. And when you've got video review and have had this many variances, degrees of calls, offside is what it is. But, whether it be the bumping into the goaltender, that kind of stuff, like when so many experts, when Thierry Henry, when Ibrahimovic, when Alexi Lalas, Donovan, Dempsey, all these guys can't come to agreement on them, you got some rules problems. So but that aside, the tournament itself has just been awesome and fun to watch.
Kerbs, I had a small suggestion for soccer, and I said earlier that every other league seems to tweak the rules to increase the viewership or the excitement of the game, all these things. And I'm not trying to change the sport of soccer here, Kerbs, but what if, and what if only, that you could have any part of your body stay onside rather than the rule right now where any part of your body that's offside is offside? What if we kind of changed it to like hockey at the blue line, where you could have a half a step on the defending player and still be onside if your body is not 100% past him? I think that would be fun. It'd create a little more offense out there.
Yeah, you know what, Jamie? I agree with you 1,000%. It's a rule change that's long overdue. It really is. I mean, look, and for the quote unquote purists or the traditionalists that will look at me when I argue this all the time and tell me that you don't understand the culture of soccer, I'll look back at them and say it's time to just go crawl into your hole and put 6 feet of dirt on top of you. Like,
wow. I was going to go fast lane yourself, Kerbs, but you took it up a whole notch.
Pretty much the same thing. Like, my favorite one is, for example, like, you guys know me, and I'm just as vocal about embellishing in the game of hockey. So I think we can all agree I'm very consistent on my disdain for embellishing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I love what we've seen in the World Cup on a couple things. One, they recognize the delay tactics. So they've changed the rules for the goaltenders holding on to the ball. They've changed the rules for how long it takes you to throw it in. They've changed the rules for the subbing. You got to get off in 10 seconds. And you notice how all of a sudden the players have adjusted? No problem there. To me, this is another one. You change this rule. You make it more understandable, more fan-friendly. You increase some offense, and you get some excitement into it. I'm all for that. But when it comes to the embellishing part of it, and this will lump into that same offside rule, Jamie, I'm all for the rule change that you're looking for. I agree with it 1,000%, right? For me, I look at somebody that tells me that I don't understand the culture of soccer. I go, okay, well, if that's your sport, your culture, then your culture's screwed up, number one. But number two, nobody has yet to give me an example of a team, a country, a player, a game that they have bought a ticket to solely to watch who lays on the field the longest or who delays the most. And until they do, I'm pretty sure that this culture of soccer thing is just a bunch of baloney, or they might say in England, poppycock. And so there are definitely ways. And this isn't an Americanization approach. You talk to people over in England. I'm in regular contact with one of the broadcasters for Fulham, right? We get into he agrees with me on this stuff. Like, there are certain things that you can do, even at a world level. But again, put all that aside, the drama has still just been fantastic. And this round of 32, for being the first time, for so many of these games getting decided in the final 20 minutes or later, has just been awesome.
Yeah, it's been exciting for sure. So many soccer fans out there. And it's also been, to drag this back to home here a little bit, it's also been pretty exciting what the Blues have been doing. First with the draft and the acquisition of Mason McTavish and the pieces that they got with Brandon Carlo as well. But, Kerbs, I don't think I'm wrong in assuming that you're probably pretty pleased with the acquisition of Ross Johnson.
You and I have had plenty of conversations, and, there's been plenty of bus rides or plane flights where we've known that one thing that this team has needed has been a bit of a pugilistic approach in that bottom six. You've got enough guys with speed that can go up and down, and really the only guy in that bottom six that'll do it consistently for you and stick his nose in, dare somebody to hit him on the chin is Nathan Walker. This is a fantastic deal. I like the fact that this was done so early on the day. Tells you that Alex Steen and his staff recognized and understood the need that they wanted. They went out. I don't know that it's overpaying for it. The guy's 32. He was tied for the league lead in fighting majors last year, which I realize guys like Twister and them would laugh when you say that was only at 11, right? But he will stick his nose in. He'll go into the corner. Everything you hear about is from a teammate standpoint is great. This is something that the Blues absolutely needed, and they addressed it. And then when you look at that as the bookend to kind of the draft week, the moves they made, the acquisitions and stuff like that, I think it winds up being a really good one, because all of a sudden, look at this roster, Jamie, and there's players that you might have penciled in, whether it be an Otto Stenberg, maybe another guy from the minors that all of a sudden you're like, well, do they really have a spot? They got to come in and compete for a spot, or there's going to be clearly some veterans, whether it is a Nathan Walker, maybe it's a Jack Finley. I don't know if we throw him in the veteran category yet, but an Alexei Toropchenko, right? Well, you've got to bring more than just going up and down the ice right now, because they've got some depth now and some internal competition for roster spots.
So, Kerbs, based on exactly what you just said, and we talked about it yesterday, do you feel like the Blues are done? Because to me, it still seems like there's an awful lot of bodies at the forward position, and I agree with internal competition, but I also agree with asset management and acquiring maybe something for a player before you have to waive him or look to trade him out of a training camp that maybe he lost his spot to. Do you think there may be more to come?
Man, to me, I feel like they're close to done. I just wonder where other pieces of the puzzle fit. Is there one more veteran defenseman that you go out there? But if you are that veteran D-man, are you going to come in realizing you might have to ride the pine a little bit, because some guys are going to get a chance and they've got to do something there. I think they addressed with the McTavish trade and with the Carlo trade, they addressed a couple of weak spots in the depth department via trade versus having to do it via free agency. So to me, I almost look at Mason McTavish and Brandon Carlo as the Blues free agent period. Now, there are some intriguing names that are still out there, and we'll see as the summer goes along whose value drops a little bit, what guys are willing to sign for. But even then, that's got to be weighed with where the Blues are in this philosophy and how that goes. And to me, that comes down to a pretty simple scenario here, and that is that I do not see them, wanting to block too many more young guys. So I get the sense that from a splash standpoint, it feels like they're done.
Chris Kerber, our Blues play-by-play man here on the Blues Radio Network, joins us here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Kerbs, do you get the sense, too, that even with all the excitement surrounding prospects, nothing appears to be guaranteed? So players even like Jimmy Snuggerud and Dalibor Dvorsky, Theo Lindstein, and Muracek, they're all going to have to compete for roles, and that's one of the things that Alexander Steen has stressed.
Yeah, but I feel that Snuggerud, Dvorsky, and those guys, they've advanced enough that they will still have to compete for roles. But they're taking the next step, and now how do you grow in the NHL? For the Stenbergs, the Theo Lindsteins, whether it be another guy like a Dylan Peterson in the minors, those guys that could come up and try to make an impact. Dylan Dubé, those are guys that are going to have to come in and kind of earn it. Now, look, they went out and they got Mason McTavish. Mason McTavish didn't have a great experience. At least we'll hear from him shortly, but it doesn't sound like, things were all that swimming under Joel Quenneville, who's one of the best coaches in the National Hockey League. So what does he learn from that? How does he adjust? What does he do with it? That's what remains to be seen. So there are still some question marks with the moves that they made, but I do feel like they've really created some competition in the middle part of that order that's going to push. So if Dalibor Dvorsky struggles a little bit, they've got the ability to push him down. You've got Suter, you've got McTavish, you've got guys that can play the middle now, and stuff. So they've got some flexibility now to make some adjustment that maybe they didn't have before.
Curbs, enjoy the rest of the World Cup, or at least the next round here on Monday night as USA gets ready to take on Belgium. It should be an outstanding match, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Yeah, have a happy 4th of July, guys. Have an awesome week. Everybody be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. And there's apparently a dog across the street that really didn't care for either my soccer takes or my hockey analysis.
Oh, no. He's barking a lot.
Yeah, he's just barking. Oh, good. You guys can't hear very much. That's
no. Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Coming through too much. Good.
Yep, you're all good.
All right, well, then never mind. He loved everything I said.
Happy 4th.
All right, happy 4th of July, guys.
All right, man.
All right, have a
See
safe
ya.
holiday.
You
See ya.
too.
Bye.
That's Chris Kerber here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Don't forget, we got the Mason McTavish introductory press conference that's coming up at the top of the hour. So less than 15 minutes now, you'll hear what Mason McTavish has to say at his first Blues press conference. Marsh has what's trending next.
topics in the sports world.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Here's what's trending.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter and Jamie Rivers. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Alex Ovechkin is returning. The Capitals announced today that Ovi has signed a one-year contract with an AAV of $4.25 million. This is good for NHL fans. Perhaps this is his final year, but it's good to see Ovi back in the NHL for at least one more season.
Yeah, I think it's his last. He's kind of alluded to it in some of the Russian interviews that I've seen and whatnot. And he's super excited because the Capitals have made a lot of noise here in the offseason. They've acquired Jordan Kyrou, Alex Tuch. They've added to other spots, and he wants to come back and be a part of it. Now, his contract has the ability to be worth $9 million to the player overall with some of the performance bonuses, because I think it's after the age of like 35, 36, they can have the bonuses without it hitting the cap and whatnot. But it's great. You know, now Ovi can do his power play dance over there on the one side. He'll be a second or third line player overall. You know, probably mark him as a first line guy, but he's not that anymore. But that's okay. I think the Capitals are going to have a pretty tough team in the Eastern Conference, and it's always great to see the greatest goal scorer of all time. I think he should have his 1 year victory lap.
I agree.
I felt it was going to be like, if he didn't come back this year coming up, nobody really got to see him for that last time. Now every building he goes into probably going to be sold out around the NHL, and people are going to want to see him, and every interview is going to be earmarked. And a guy like that who's done what he's done should be celebrated for his accomplishments.
So we were having the discussion the other day about LeBron James. He will not be a LA Laker. However, he will play another year. I would have to assume maybe this is his final year. I have no idea.
I would have to assume that.
I would think, but who knows?
When you look at the four major sports, is the NBA the one sport or the one league where you're like, I don't know like who that next guy is to take over for LeBron James? Of course, there is a ton of different players that are really good basketball players, but it's not clear. It's not a clear-cut decision.
Yeah, there's not one superstar that's dominating.
Where in Major League Baseball, Ohtani came on the scene, Aaron Judge. You have those two guys. They basically run Major League Baseball. In hockey, you have Connor McDavid. Sidney Crosby's obviously still there. There's a few different players that you can throw.
Now you're seeing Macklin Celebrini. Who's coming up with only 2 years in the league, and he's over 100 points.
The NFL, when Peyton Manning and Tom Brady left, who do you get? You get Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. There was a seamless transition. I don't know if that's necessarily the case for the NBA.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good point. I think Wemby could be that guy, but obviously he just arrived in with a lot of fanfare, but certainly less fanfare than LeBron. There's so many comparisons, and there's not going to be a comparison to Jordan. So do you need that comparison to Jordan?
I wonder if you do.
I think so too.
Like that's the discussion, right? That's like one of the biggest debates in sports history. LeBron or Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And other people are out there saying, what about Kobe Bryant?
Yeah. Which proves the impact that not only Michael Jordan had on the sport, but also the late great Kobe Bryant.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, Marsh, I think you're right. I don't think there is that clear transition when it comes to the NBA. They got some stars.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that our guy Jason Tatum has suffered some injuries of late, and last year he missed virtually the entire season until he came back late in the year, because I feel like he was kind of getting that superstar. He was on that superstar path, not to the level of LeBron or MJ, but still somebody that the league could be a great face of the league. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We want to break a little early so that we're on time for the Mason McTavish introductory press conference. We'll hear what the newest Blue has to say, and it's always interesting, Jamie, to kind of glean what went on before a trade or before a signing. And I'm sure the assembled press will talk about McTavish's journey to St. Louis, essentially. So you'll listen to that on the Blues Radio Network. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis got the day off today, / he's suspended. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. So again, coming up next, the Mason McTavish introductory press conference here in the Fast Lane. Hey, this month, Auto Centers Nissan in Herculaneum, Missouri, they're loaded with over 1,000 new and used vehicles, all in one location, right off 555, just minutes from South County. One lot, one website, one place to find the right ride without spending your entire day bouncing from dealership to dealership. Go to AutoCentersNissan.com. You'll find the full inventory from Auto Centers Nissan. New Nissans, used trucks, SUVs, cars, and more. They have vehicles for every budget, and right now, new and used prices are being marked down by the thousands to make room for incoming units. So you want to head out there in the month of July. You'll love what you find at Auto Centers Nissan. If you're searching for new vehicles, check out the 2026 Rogue, Pathfinder, Murano, and Frontier models. They're all available with 0% APR for up to 60 months. Plus, every new Nissan comes with their 30-day return promise. If you're not completely satisfied with the vehicle, bring it back within 30 days. They'll refund your money, set you up with something else. Buyers can also take advantage of no money down payments and no money down and no payments for 6 months on select new and used vehicles. And one more way to save, go to AutoCentersNissan.com. Pick the vehicle you want. Look for the green Claim My Buyer's Bonus button to lock up another $1,000 off the sales price exclusively online. It's Auto Centers Nissan, Herculaneum. Three o'clock, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. So we'll have the introductory press conference for Mason McTavish. It should be momentarily here. Jamie, you look at Mason McTavish. Do you feel as though that he's so far the centerpiece of the offseason? Would that be fair to say?
Oh, yeah.
Given the fact that Alexander Steen sounds genuinely excited, McTavish seems hungry himself, and again, we'll hear him in a second here, but Steen repeatedly mentioned in the interview with Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider at The Athletic, wanting to improve, wanting coaching, wanting growth. That's what McTavish wants. So I think he is. He's the centerpiece thus far of the offseason.
I think he has to be. One of the number one things the Blues needed to acquire was that second-line center. And whether it's McMichael or McTavish,
it's going to be a Mick.
It's going to be a Mick down the middle of the ice. But I think he is. He's 23 years old, a former third overall draft pick. He has played some pretty good hockey in the NHL. Bit of a down year for whatever reason. I imagine someone will ask him about that. And I'm not sure if he'll be honest about it or if he'll just hockey talk it, but either way, I think it's a great opportunity for Mason McTavish, and I think it's great. It's a great acquisition for the Blues. Again, for anybody who thinks, you gave up 2 first-rounders, you gave up 2 unproven commodities.
Right.
Is what you did. So now there's both sides of the plate to that one. One, you gave up 2 star players for another star player. That's if everything works out perfect.
Right.
Or you gave up nothing almost for a established third overall draft pick.
Which is kind of ironic because Blues fans wanted the Blues to trade up in this year's draft to get into the top 5, which is understandable.
Army did.
Yeah, right.
Except he got a top 5 pick that already has NHL experience.
Exactly. If you look at it that way, it's well worth the gamble.
100%.
And you didn't have a dance partner in this year's draft, so that wasn't even feasible. So you kind of reworked it, so you did get a former top 5 pick.
Just like the offer sheets. Broberg was a top 10 pick, and Holloway was right after that. So the picks that you haven't had in the past, you've acquired said players, but each time you've acquired them, they've proven they can play at the NHL level already. Right. Broberg was ready, NHL ready, coming out of that Stanley Cup run for the Oilers. Dylan Holloway had already gotten his feet wet in the NHL. Nobody really knew what his ceiling was going to be, but you knew he could play in the NHL. And you know that Mason McTavish can play in the NHL. You don't know if picks 15 and 29 are ever going to have established NHL careers.
Right.
So I don't see the gamble in it. I just see that it's a really good move for the Blues.
And you had those assets from making other moves, including the Jordan Kyrou trade. And replacing Jordan Kyrou's offense won't fall on one player. There's a good and the bad to that. The bad is you had consistent point potential and production outside of last year out of Jordan Kyrou.
Yeah.
That's gone. You don't have one player that's going to replace that.
No, but you have 2 players that can be even more effective.
Right.
So if you have 2 55-point players next year in McMichael and McTavish, it's 110 points. I think the highest thing Kyrou ever got was, 70 points?
Sure.
So, yeah, it's not apples to apples because that's one player.
Right.
But now you get 2 players that are doing damage. And they play a more well-rounded game than Jordan Kyrou. They're not as explosive. That's fine. Or dynamic, per se. But to me, they encompass more of what playing like a Blues player really looks like.
Sure. Again, we'll throw to the Mason McTavish press conference once we're ready to go. But we are kind of going step by step through the Blues offseason, which includes adding Brandon Carlo. To me, that's about stability. It wasn't about improving the defense today. It is about that, but it's also about protecting prospects, specifically Adam Juracek.
Yeah.
You kind of protect him with this move. You ensure that his development won't be shortchanged because, man, we need this guy. He's got to play. The Blues don't want Juracek forced into NHL minutes before he's ready. And Armstrong's quote kind of stood out. He said, "We don't want someone surviving. We want them to be thriving." Yeah, and I think that's what the Carlo addition is.
Yeah, Brandon Carlo comes to the Blues with a tremendous amount of NHL experience, a big body, good defender. He was on BK and Ferrario the other day, and, man, very well-spoken. He knows what his role is. He knows what his job is. That's what you want. You get a veteran guy like that who's going to come in here. He's not trying to be a power play guy or grab more ice. He's trying to be solid defensively every time he's on the ice and be a great penalty killer. I mean, and he's 6'5", 230 pounds.
Is there freedom as a player when you know exactly what your role is?
Oh, yeah, because now you know exactly what you have to do. Like, when you don't know what your role is, you really don't know sometimes if you've had a good or a bad game. Because, like, I kind of checked, 3 or 4 boxes. I don't know if they're the right ones. I think I did. But when you have a very specific role to what you're supposed to do, and if you're out there, if you're a physical stay-at-home defenseman that kills penalties and blocks shots, if you've got 4 or 5 hits in that game, you've given up 1 maybe high danger scoring chance, maybe 0, and you've blocked 3 or 4, 5 shots, you have had a hell of a game.
Yeah.
You've had a hell of a game. And you know it. Yeah. And you leave the arena pumped up, you're ready to, the coaching staff is happy with you, did exactly what you needed to do. But if you don't know that's your job, and now you're trying to run around and do other things, and you're not sure because the coach doesn't tell you if you're really an offensive guy, a defensive guy, physical, dynamic, then you don't really know. You leave the rink, well, I think I felt pretty good, I think.
Right.
I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out tomorrow when they put the lines on the board.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I'm out of it.
Yeah, wait a minute. Why do I have a yellow jersey?
I'm in the media box.
Why's my bag packed?
Again, we'll throw to the Mason McTavish press conference here momentarily. This, of course, as we go through the offseason, we might be ready to rock
Marsh
here.
just silenced us.
Yeah, he goes, stop. Of course,
it's an aggressive move, Andrew.
But, of course, we're on air, so you can't just go silence here. All right, let's go to the press conference. Here's Mason McTavish.
Mason, I don't know how much you knew about a trade potentially happening, but as it seemed like it might be a possibility, and when it finally happened, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously it's my first time being traded in the NHL. So I think just a lot of excitement, a little bit of nervousness, and but I think the biggest thing is just you're so excited to go to a new city, meet a bunch of new guys, and live in a whole new city. So I'm super grateful for the Blues kind of trusting me, and I had a great time in Anaheim, and it was awesome. And like I said, I'm just excited to get down to St. Louis now.
Mason, when did you find out about the trade? Like, where were you and how did you find out?
I was at my parents' house. We were just watching the draft, and my agent called me probably about a minute before it was announced on the TV. So pretty much the same time as everybody else.
Hey, Mason, I'm just curious, how would you characterize the way your season and I guess your career in Anaheim ended, and what's your level of motivation moving forward coming to St. Louis?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, especially the last year, I wasn't happy with the way, I performed, and I know I have so much better than that. So, obviously a lot of motivation throughout the, start of the summer and going forward. So, and then obviously a lot of excitement, with the trade. So, definitely a lot of energy, being exerted this summer and trying to get as better as possible. And, I think my time in Anaheim, obviously I went there when I was 18, and, I enjoyed it. It was awesome. I think it's the right time for me to go to a new team and experience something new. And I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really excited.
Mason, one of the things that the Blues said was that they really could sense the hunger that you have. Obviously, you're disappointed in your season last year, but then also the trade. Can you speak to that hunger? And also they said that they've done their due diligence. They know what type of training, what you're doing, and how you're getting yourself ready. Could you explain a little bit of that too?
I think like every player, everybody wants to get better, in the summer. And I think just kind of putting a magnifying glass on, what I need, and just really attacking all those things, just kind of becoming a better skater, being more explosive, working with new people, nutrition and stuff like that. So just those things, I think that, everybody does. And, you just try to do them as hard as you can and as well as you can.
Mason, obviously in Anaheim, you had the expectations of a number 3 pick, but now you have kind of a fresh start in St. Louis. Can you just describe what a fresh start could mean to you?
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I'm beyond grateful for my time in Anaheim. It was awesome. I have no complaints about it. It's a great organization. And I've heard the same things about St. Louis. So I'm super excited. Super lucky to be going to St. Louis. A lot of the guys have reached out. Obviously, you don't have to do that. Kind of speaks to how good of a group it is. And I'm very, very excited. I feel like I've used that word a lot, but I truly am excited to be going into a new opportunity at this time in my life, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Mason, when you look around this Blues roster, there's a lot of ties to the time that you spent with Anaheim and some of the former players. But in Greg Cronin's perspective, when you played under him at Anaheim, what worked so well, and what are you looking forward to working with him again on?
I think he demands a lot out of his players, and it's good. I mean, he can get on you. Sometimes you may not love it, but he's probably right, and he'll push you to be the best player you can be. So I'm excited to see him again. He was great. So I'm looking forward to that.
Mason, I don't know how much you're on social media, but there was a lot of noise leading up to when you got traded. Is that something that you kind of pay attention to? Is that not really anything that you kind of give anything to?
Yeah, no, I'm not on social media, but obviously a lot of my buddies are, and they'll see a bunch of trade stuff and rumors. So I guess it's brought to my attention, but yeah, I'm not really on that space. So.
And then similar kind of to Z last year, where there was a lot of stuff around him before he got traded. Is that something that you kind of talked to him a little bit about, maybe being in kind of a similar situation too, where you guys had the contract negotiations going to training camp?
Yeah, no, for sure. He's one of my best buddies, and that we've both kind of went through similar things, especially with the contract stuff and then getting traded. So I just kind of picked his brain a little bit, and he's been a great help, and great friend throughout the whole time here.
Mason, the Blues said that they see you as a center. I know you played both in Anaheim. Do you look forward to them bringing you in as a center and giving you the first crack there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I'm naturally a centerman. I know I can play wing too, but I think the center ice is more my natural kind of path of playing hockey, and that's just kind of the way I grew up, and I think I'm the most comfortable there for sure.
And as a follow-up, just, sort of your play in front of the net, the Blues have been lacking kind of a net front presence. Do you feel like you can be that physical type player here in St. Louis?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of my elements I can bring. I feel like, that's such a key thing, especially come playoff time. You look at where all the goals are scored, it's always around the net, and, that sort of thing. So I think every time you can get to the net, you might as well go there, because the puck's going to end up there. So, I think that's definitely one of the things I'll bring for sure.
Mason, how did you kind of process the scratches in the playoffs? And I think you talked about it earlier, but how much does that kind of impact your motivation?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, as a hockey player, I mean, I'm very competitive, and I want to be in. I know I could help that team win, night in, night out. And, it sucks it's not your decision. And, it's frustrating for sure. But yeah, I think, like you said, just kind of bottle it up and use that as motivation, and kind of use that in a positive way is the way to go. And, I feel like I've been doing that throughout this offseason here.
The Ducks had made a long-term commitment to you that you were going to be in the second year of your extension. Was it ever a thought that you were going to get traded this summer? Was that something that kind of caught you off guard?
No, I mean, I think there was inklings. When you get scratched, that's never a good sign, and that's not the way you want it to kind of go, especially that first year in your extension. But I mean, it's totally on me. I mean, I'm not saying it's anybody else's fault, but I think you always have to be expected to be traded, I guess. Just playing professional sports, you can see so many guys get traded. Even last year, John Carlson got traded to our team. He was on Washington for, I don't even know how long, at least 12 years probably, maybe more. And, he gets a call at midnight on the trade deadline, and he's coming to Anaheim. So, it can happen to anyone, and you just got to be ready for it. And it's definitely a weird feeling, but it's, for me, it's super exciting. So I'm excited to get down there.
Mason, big picture, the Blues have been talking about bringing in players 23 to 26 for a few months, a year now. Just as you look at this roster and you see the Snuggeruds and Dvorskys and, Dylan Holloways and these guys coming up, like when you glanced at the roster and thought about when you played them, how do you see this team moving forward with this young group that they're building?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great team. I mean, I just can speak on whenever we played them in St. Louis or in Anaheim. They played us really hard. They did really well. And yeah, they have, like you said, a lot of that young kind of core that's, very skilled, very fast. And they play well defensively too. And they're up and down the ice, and they play really hard. So I'm excited to kind of meet them all. I've met Jake Neighbors. Obviously, I played with him in the World Juniors. But I've heard it's a great group. Like I said, they all pretty much reached out to me, which helps a lot. Kind of get even a little bit more comfortable. It's a weird feeling getting traded, and for them to do that, it's very nice of them, and just kind of helps you feel more at home a little bit quicker, I guess.
Mason, for fans here in St. Louis that might not know your game as well, Alexander Steen said yesterday that he wants the Blues to be a team that other teams feel uncomfortable playing. What can you bring to this team that fans might be excited about that aligns with what he said yesterday?
For sure. I think even like I said last year, I think they're building a fast and physical kind of brand, and I think I personally bring a lot of competitiveness and hunger to win games, and I think I would say I'm more of a skilled forward. Likes to take the puck to the net. I think my hockey sense is the best thing about my game, and just kind of knowing where people are and what reads to kind of make, especially in the offensive zone. So I'd say those are kind of just a couple of things that, I'll be bringing for sure.
Mason, because you've been in the league for 4 years already, do you have to kind of remind yourself you're only 23 and that you still do have development ahead of you, and where do you see the areas of growth for you?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, when you step in at such a young age, it's interesting, but I feel like every year, no matter how old you are, I think there's always areas you can get better at. And, I think that you really see it when they're younger, players are younger, but I think there's always places players can improve on. And, I think, like one of you guys said, the Blues kind of core, there's a bunch of guys like kind of 22 to 26. And, I'm looking forward to just practicing with those guys. And I know how hungry they'll all be to get better and work on their game. So, I'm looking forward for that.
Mason, can you tell Blues fans what kind of player they're getting in Ross Johnston? And are you glad to have him following you?
Ross he's unreal. He's the best, one of the best guys, plays hard. Obviously don't want to mess with that guy for sure. And he had a really good year offensively last year. So, he's a great teammate, great friend. So I'm excited to kind of see how he does this year. And, I remember, I think it was my first camp. I forget somebody he was like taking a puck to the net in training camp, and I think me and him actually got into it a little bit. I didn't really want to, but he kind of did, and but it was funny. We just kind of laughed about it now, but we kind of had a little wrestle match, and I definitely was not thrilled about it going into it. But no, he's a great guy and a great friend.
When you got traded, did Cam reach out to you about just kind of the mentality here in St. Louis?
Yeah, he did. Cam was awesome. When I stepped in, I think I was 19 in Anaheim, and he kind of, he helped me a lot, so much actually. Just kind of guided me in the right way, and he's a great teammate, great friend of mine, and I'm excited to play with him again.
Any other questions, guys? Sounds good. Thanks, Mason. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Yeah,
Mason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. That is Mason McTavish, the latest Blue, or one of the latest Blues, given his introductory press conference. A lot of good stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here. Going to give Marsh an opportunity to kind of break up some of the things that we wanted to highlight that Mason McTavish talked about. So we'll revisit the Mason McTavish press conference in a little bit. Transitioning back, though, to one of the biggest stories of the day, the U.S. men's soccer team beating Bosnia last night, advancing to the round of 16. They advanced, their first knockout win since 2002. So here's the question. What has changed for the U.S. men's soccer team? Clearly a lot. How we feel about the team, the excitement, the expectations, a lot has changed. So what is it that has us now believing? That's next to 101 ESPN.
Cheap, fun. Let's get dirty this holiday weekend. July 4th, knocking at the door. No better time than right now to go visit my friends over at Dirt Cheap. Whether it's beer, wine, seltzers, spirits, mixers, you name it, Dirt Cheap has it available right now. And they got some great deals going on as well. I myself was on the Dirt Cheap app, placing an order to pick up tomorrow morning. Got a lot of great beers in there, including the old Zwickle Light. Got to make sure I grab that. And also love the little pink Whitney bottles. Got a little bucket of those too. Put a little ice in there. It is awesome. All of that available at Dirt Cheap. And the rewards, they come with the app. So every dollar that you spend inside of Dirt Cheap, just punch in your code. It identifies that. Well, they give you points that you can use in store. And it really goes a long way because everything is priced so well at Dirt Cheap. You get a lot of bang for your buck. So please get into the Dirt Cheap locations, get on the Dirt Cheap app, and have yourself an amazing holiday weekend. For more information, visit dirtcheapfunfun.com. Again, that's dirtcheapfunfun.com. Remember to have fun, but please be careful out there. Fascinating here, 101 ESPN. And look, a big buzz around the sporting world has been this World Cup overall. But I'd say closer to home here, literally at home, Team USA they've been great, super competitive, and just a lot of fun to watch out there on the pitch, as they say, Marshy. But our guy, Anthony, he wanted to know, what's changed for the U.S. national team? What has changed ultimately to get them to where, one, they're competitive right now? I think it's been since 2002 since they've been to the round of 16. I could be wrong.
Yeah, first
Anthony's
World
our
Cup
soccer
knockout
guy.
win.
He'll let us know for sure here in a second. But now all of a sudden they're a competitive nation in the world of soccer, and they're exciting to watch. It's fun. It's a fun team. So, Anthony, I know this was your segment. And you posed the question of what has changed.
Yeah.
What do you think has changed?
I think, and I know that this is a buzzword that we often use in sports, but I do think the culture changed for U.S. soccer. They hired somebody, and they finally paid them too. They paid Pochettino a bunch of money. I think $6 million a year.
That's pretty good money.
Yeah, damn right. To come over and actually put together a system, pick the right players, put together a system that's gonna win multiple games in the World Cup and turn U.S. the narrative that U.S. can never have a competitive soccer team. And this has always been a disappointing club and one that's really hard to get behind unless you're a diehard soccer fan. They haven't been aesthetically pleasing. They haven't been very good. There seems to be always controversy, including when Berhalter was the coach beforehand.
Yeah, he seemed to catch a lot of heat, didn't he?
Well, he caught a lot of heat because of one of the current players and the parents didn't like the lack of playing time in the 2022 World Cup, and they decided, you know what, my son's not playing, so I'm going after you. And all the skeletons you got in your closet didn't work.
He had a couple.
Yeah, didn't work. But Pochettino has come in, and he, it hasn't been a smooth ride. The team that they faced, Belgium, they will face on Monday. They lost 5-2. Now they had a couple of defenders out in that friendly a couple months back, but
maybe it was strategy though. Maybe they lost on purpose like that.
Here's the thing. To some degree, Jamie, I know you're joking. To some degree,
what do you think?
Some of these matches that they have lost that have looked real bad. Mm-hmm. I do wonder, knowing that you are going to qualify for the World Cup because you're the host city, you're a host city. I do think Pochettino decided I'm going to go with I'm going to test certain guys. I'm going to test certain lineups. I'm going to see who's really bought in, who's not. I'm going to find the exact right team, and he did. Mm-hmm. Because this now during the World Cup, this team has looked completely different. Now we'll see how they do without Balogun, and we've talked about this. The red card, which is just we all agree is a joke. Things change a little bit there, but it does feel as though that he has the right mix of players that all play together. It is not just one guy. He's the star. He's the front, he's everything about our team, and we're going to live and die on that one player. This is a team that player to player, you watch some of the interviews and some of the comments that they've made, they truly love each other. They want to play for the guy next to him. So whatever has done, I don't know all the inner workings, but whatever he has done has struck a chord with these players, and now they're all bought in. It's not unlike what we've seen for other teams in other sports, Jamie. We're just finally now seeing it with the U.S. men's soccer team.
On topic but off topic, let's just say Team USA wins the World Cup. Let's just say they do.
Okay.
Bigger accomplishment, the Miracle on Ice or this World Cup?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, BK and Ferrario were talking about that earlier. Yeah, had the same discussion.
Wow.
I don't think it's.
But isn't it? But because
it's U.S. men's soccer.
Where was
what I'm gathering? Sorry, Jamie. From what I'm gathering from your expression, Marsh, is that there's no debate. It's still the U.S. hockey team.
Absolutely. I
agree to that to a certain point, but hear me out. USA Hockey was still a ranked nation.
But
I understand, but U.S. soccer is nowhere near the top group of countries that are playing soccer.
They have never done anything.
The United States had college kids that played for less than a year together.
I agree.
I am not
against the best players in the world.
I think this is the minimizing. Great debate, but these players are also playing against the best in the world.
But some of them are the best in the world. They play overseas.
Some of them.
But are they household names? Like, it's not like Mbappe and like all of these top nations seem to have like generational players on their teams. I don't think the U.S. has that yet. I don't know what the future holds for some of these guys. And I get the miracle. Listen, I'm a hockey player. I'd love to just say it's a miracle on ice. But as I'm watching this and knowing just how far the U.S. has always been in the World Cup from the top, I just brought it up because I think it's at least a debate. I bet you there's 50% that would believe that this would be a bigger accomplishment, and the other 50 are absolutely steadfast on it's the miracle on ice.
Well, Marsh falls into the latter category. Yeah. I'm not minimizing. What the U.S. hockey team did, the miracle on ice. You can't minimize that because you're right. Because it's college players versus, not only professionals but the elite professionals, especially with that Soviet Union team.
Most of that team didn't even go to they weren't like household NHL players.
Right. Only a couple of them, I think, wound up playing for the NHL. So, I'm not trying to minimize either side, but I do think it's a discussion.
It's just funny that here we are.
Given that, in other words, Marsh, it's not a fluke that the U.S. has not had success. Basically, at any definition of success in men's soccer. Women's, completely different story, obviously.
Yeah.
But men's soccer has had the minimal of success when it comes to playing on the world stage. Minimal. This is the first knockout win they've had since 2002.
Yeah, I understand. I don't think they're in the same conversation. I think that if the United States won the World Cup, it would be very impressive and it would definitely be a great story, but it's not miracle on ice level of story by any. That's my opinion.
Sure.
I think we're. I know it's been a minute, but that was the best team in the world for numerous years.
Oh yeah.
And a group of college kids beat them after getting smoked before the tournament started.
Sure. Yeah, anything you say about the Miracle on Ice team.
Well, there's no
counter argument. There is zero counter argument to the Miracle on Ice team. But going back real quick to the U.S. men's team, and Pochettino, what he's been able to do. This is a team that knows exactly how it wants to play, and I think the defining feature is that counter press. How a counter presses. They lose the ball, immediately attack, win the ball back. Instead of retreating defensively, they squeeze space, they trap opponents, they force turnovers, they attack again before the defense resets. They are constantly pressuring their opponent. I love how they play. And I still think there's plenty of doubters, especially when you look at what France has. France is clearly the best team in this World Cup. And you also have some of the mainstays, Argentina, who, of course, won the last World Cup. I think there's this style and the players overall, there's still a lot of doubt. This is still a massive underdog. It is just finally a team I think that we all can believe in and trust that they're going to give its best effort.
So going back to the debate that we were having.
Oh, boy.
BK brought up some numbers earlier today.
Uh-oh.
And
wait, he brought up numbers?
He brought up some numbers. I know you're
like
shocked. But the odds for the United States to win the World Cup is basically the same as the Cubs to win the World Series right now, and like the Chicago Bears, Jacksonville Jaguars to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, so how does
so
that
you
play
wouldn't
in?
so you wouldn't bet on it.
Wouldn't bet on it.
But you wouldn't necessarily be shocked.
Wouldn't be shocked based on the upward trajectory.
Okay.
I look at the Miracle on Ice team.
No shot.
That team pulled off a miracle.
Yeah, the miracle. Yeah. All right. Listen, I'll concede. Okay? I'll concede. I think Marsh is right on the miracle team.
Now tell me, Anthony, LeBron or MJ?
Oh, boy.
MJ.
Kobe.
Yeah. You always have Kobe guy.
Yeah.
Kobe.
Okay. I think Kobe was great.
He was, absolutely. All right, it's Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. We got some of the audio ready to go, Marsh, on the Mason McTavish.
Yeah, we should be good to go. I'm also checking in on that Cardinals lineup, but we have nothing so far, so we'll have to wait on the lineup.
All right, so some of the things that we heard and wanted to discuss from the Mason McTavish press conference. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Our guy Stewie is out there right now, still working hard. Holiday weekend right around the corner, but Stewie's still taking care of 101 ESPN listeners. And it's just amazing to me that the number of people that Stewie gets in contact with, how much he helps them. Just last night, again, was out at good old Frankie Martin's. Just happened to come across a couple that have used Stewie in the past for 2 different home purchases, one for themselves and one for their son. And they were thrilled with the customer service that they received from Stewie, all the advice, and talking about refinancing when rates drop again. They were blown away with just how good he is to his customers.
And if you ever worked with Stewie before on anything, you won't be surprised by that story. That's how good he is. You might think, well, what's the big deal? These guys are all the same. They're not. Stewie is way different than any other mortgage expert that I have ever dealt with. This is somebody that hands out his personal cell phone number because he wants to give you convenience and you an advantage when it comes to saving money, whether it's a refi, whether it's buying a home, whether it's debt consolidation. Stewie has different programs for different people. There's no cookie cutter approach. He's not like, hey, you call, it's going to be the exact same thing. Hand over his information. He makes it easy to save money and put you in a better financial spot overall. I love working with Stewie.
Yeah, I do too, but you got to call him or text him. His personal cell phone number, 314-324-4440.
Again, that number is 314-324-4440.
If you can't remember that or write it down, Anthony, what can you do?
Well, Jamie, you can always Google the Bagel Loan.
NMLS number 226715.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. The Cardinals lose to the Atlanta Braves last night by a final score of 5-1. They're back in action tonight. 6:15 first pitch. Dustin May is on the mound for the Cardinals. Earlier today, we talked with Chris Kerber. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Mason McTavish had his introductory press conference earlier today. We played that on air, and we are going to react to some of the things that he had to say earlier today. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
It's Fastline on 101 ESPN. So Mason McTavish, we just aired the press conference of his earlier in the hour. Some of the things that we wanted to extract from the press conference and kind of expand our thoughts on from the Mason McTavish presser was when he talked about net front presence. And Jamie, this is certainly something that we have talked about in spades. The Blues need more of it. They want more of it. Well, what does Mason McTavish bring to the table? He talks about some net front presence.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of my elements I can bring. I feel like, that's such a key thing, especially come playoff time. You look at where all the goals are scored, it's always around the net and, that sort of thing. So I think every time, you can get to the net, you might as well go there because the puck's going to end up there. So, I think that's definitely one of the things I'll bring for sure.
Yeah, and look at just a couple of years ago, how many times did we have Craig Berube on this very show, and he talked about getting to the front of the net, getting inside the dots, playing inside. That's a couple of years ago. And good old Jake Neighbors, who was up and down, was down the minors, comes up, was like a third, sometimes fourth liner, healthy scratch a bit. Good old Jake decided, you know what? I'm going to go to the front of the net. Every single time I get across the blue line, I'm going to go to the front of the net. Jake was rewarded. And Jake Neighbors at that point became a net front presence on the power play because he was willing to go there and knowing that he could be rewarded. Listening to what Mason McTavish just said, he knows. He hasn't been told yet by Jim Montgomery or anybody else, or certainly not Craig Berube. He's not his coach, but he's going to go to the front of the net. It's not always easy. But going there knowing you can get rewarded? Hey, come on, man.
Well, it's what you've often said about having the answers to the tests. But of course, you do still have to get there.
Yeah.
And you have to be brave.
Use the answers,
physical.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it don't mean anything.
No, it certainly doesn't. So again, we're reacting some of the comments made by Mason McTavish earlier today, right here on the Blues Radio Network. Here's Mason McTavish on being caught off guard after being traded.
No, I think there was inklings. When you get scratched, that's never a good sign, and that's not the way you want it to kind of go, especially that first year in your extension. But it's totally on me. I'm not saying it's anybody else's fault, but I think. You always have to be expected to be traded, I guess. Just playing professional sports, you can see so many guys get traded. Even last year, John Carlson got traded to our team. He was on Washington for, I don't even know how long, at least 12 years probably, maybe more. And, he gets a call at midnight on the trade deadline and he's coming to Anaheim. So, it can happen to anyone and you just got to be ready for it. And it's definitely a weird feeling, but it's for me, it's super exciting. So I'm excited to get down there.
So a couple things that I like hearing out of that is, one, his accountability. He didn't say, the coach didn't play me. I didn't have the right line mates. I would like to get more power play time. He didn't say it. He said, well, it's on me. He says, ultimately, it's on me. And the second thing about that is what did Alex Steen, what has he been talking about for the last handful of days that he's been talking to the media? He wants a team that it's all about the team. It's not about the individual. It's about playing for the Blue Note. And Mason McTavish just identifying whether he believes it or not, he said it's on me. And so that tells me this is a team guy. He's not going to blame his teammates, not going to blame the referee, not going to blame his skates or the stick or the gloves. He's going to be, it's on me. And I think that right now, Alex Steen, what he's doing is keeping guys that think that way, and he's acquiring guys that they exude accountability. And Ross Johnson is no different. You know, everything we hear about him is he's holding his teammates accountable on and off the ice, holds himself accountable. Now Mason McTavish speaking the very right words that he should be speaking, which is, hey, it's on me. I've got to be better. I'm going to put forward a great summer. I'm going to work my ass off. I'm going to come and show everybody I was a 3rd overall pick for a reason.
Right. Mason McTavish, again, talked to the media earlier today in his introductory press conference. One of the other things that he talked about or was asked, I think it was from our guy BK, on what he brings to what Steen is, what'd you put there? Building. All right. Marsh's
I need a new dry erase.
Yeah, Marsh's marker started to bleed out a little bit. Here's what McTavish says and what he brings to what Steen is building.
Even like I said last year, I think they're building a fast and physical kind of brand, and I think I personally bring a lot of competitiveness and hunger to win games, and I think I would say I'm more of a skilled forward. Likes to take the puck to the net. I think my hockey sense is the best thing about my game, and just kind of knowing where people are and what reads to kind of make, especially in the offensive zone. So I'd say those are kind of just a couple of things that I'll be bringing for sure.
When you watch Mason McTavish, does it track what he just said?
Yeah. So the unique thing about Mason McTavish, and he's right, he considers himself more of a skilled guy. It's not hard. Go over to YouTube, punch in Mason McTavish, and you're going to see some highlight reel goals. And nobody's really talked about this yet. I think he's over 65% in the shootout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's pretty good, which is something the Blues have not been good at.
That's right. So all of those games that you've lost.
Jamie, can you pause for a second?
I can.
Not all heroes wear capes.
No, I know.
Mike Ryder is flat out a hero.
Yeah.
He heard that Marsh's marker.
He's an American hero.
Yes, he is. He's dying on the vine, and he hopped up.
He did.
And ran to our supply closet and got Marsh not 1 but 2 new markers.
Let's see if it works.
Oh, it'll work.
We'll see.
Yeah.
That's
Continue.
a little thin.
Sorry, Jamie.
Is it a thin tip or a fat tip, Marshy?
It's thin.
Yeah. It would have been better if Ryder could have provided a fat tip, but I guess it wasn't available.
Listen, he's got to work with what he has.
Yep. That's a good point. Kind of like Mason McTavish.
Absolutely. Great transition.
With, the skill set that he has, and at the same time, he's a physical presence. He's not going to run guys through the boards. He's not going to fight anybody, but he's a handful to handle. He's like a David Perron, where when he's got the puck, he's physical. You have a hard time getting it away from him. And he's a very competitive player, too, which is something else that Alex Steen has highlighted that he wants from this team.
Yeah.
You guys want to know what I wrote on this whiteboard with my new marker?
Sure.
Of course.
No lineup game yet.
Oh,
come
What the heck is going on?
But just scumbags.
Ollie playing the rope-a-dope game.
Yeah.
He wants us to keep talking soccer, Anthony.
He loves it.
He certainly does, yeah. We do have some sports six-packs coming up. We'll save those. We got a returner for the game. We got Joey back in the Gauntlet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Knocked off CD yesterday
He's
at
trying to make a
Ballpark
run
Village.
again.
He's trying to make a run, so it's going to be interesting to see who he takes on coming up at 4 o'clock. You want to do more soccer? You want to do that soccer?
Yeah, Anthony.
Is this team changing the way we view soccer in America? Some yes and no to that, Jamie. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Well, on Saturday, United States of America will be turning 250 years old. And my guy, Derek Stevens, over at Circus Sports, he wanted a way to celebrate that with the residents of Missouri. So here's what he came up with, that all users in Missouri, you have to find and download the Circus Sports app. And once you do that, register, put all your information in there, and then deposit $250. Then, once you play through the $250, whenever that may be, Circus Sports, they're putting another $250 right back onto your account so you can continue to enjoy the world's best sports book. They've got great lines on all your futures bets. So if you want to bet something down the road, go for it. They've got great money line splits, best odds of any app that is out there. And let's not forget about the high betting limits. And they don't cut you off when you win. They celebrate it. Imagine that. That's because Circus Sports is the best in the business. They are sports betting the way it should be. So please, let's celebrate that 250 years with Circus Sports. And for more information, you can always visit circusports.com. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Has this run in the World Cup changed our view about soccer? Now, when I say our view, I don't mean soccer diehard. Sorry to exclude you in the conversation.
No, we're not excluding them. They're already involved in it.
If they want to be, though.
Yeah.
If they want to be.
Yeah.
Because they can be a little exclusive themselves. If they're being fair. Exclusive soccer fan tends to be the talk about my sport more, you fast lane scumbags.
And if you don't know everything about my sport, don't talk about it.
Then don't talk about it.
Then it's like, well, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like, I want to get involved, but I'm afraid to now.
You know, Jamie, can I be vulnerable for a second?
Yeah, please.
Marsh, can you turn off the mic?
Yeah. What's up, buddy?
You know, sometimes I feel like I want to love soccer, but soccer fan won't allow it. They won't allow me to view the sport the way I want to view it. And then I react.
Questions.
Well, no, then I react in ways where I feel like I got to put the sport down, and that's not right, and that's not fair.
Sometimes you just do that as a defense mechanism.
Very true.
It's like, you know what? Yeah, I may not know enough about your sport, but you know what? Your sport sucks. I don't want to know about it.
Exactly.
Like,
and I don't want to be that way.
Hurt people.
Exactly. Here's the other
You're
thing,
better
though.
than that, by the
well,
way.
can I, if I may, in my defense?
Sure.
Sometimes soccer fan, not you, if you're, well, the mics are off, so we don't have to worry about it. Sometimes I feel like soccer fan can be really pretentious. And because I can't punch them right in the mouth, because they're not in front of me,
you think it's
I attack verbally. Pretentiousness.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you know what? I want to be better. I want to open up my mind, my spirit, my soul. The thing they call football.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready, Jamie.
I think so. I think it would help, though, too, honestly, if Super Soccer Fan would...
lightens the fast lane up?
A little bit, yeah. Like, if we say something like that it might be incorrect or slightly wrong, put your arm around us. Like, not really, but put your arm around us and be like, oh, no, hey, that's a great take, but here's how the rule really works, or here's what they're really trying to do.
Metaphorical
Rather
love.
than shut your friggin' mouth, you fool, don't talk about the sport if you don't know it.
Right.
And then you're like, now you retreat. I don't want to be a soccer fan.
Then I point out all the flaws of the game.
Then, exactly, right? We can find all the beautiful things, or we can find all the terrible things.
Right. Okay.
I'd rather be in it together.
Marsh, go ahead.
Turn the mics back on, Marshy,
please. Marshy.
Thank you.
So the question here, Jamie, is the U.S. men's soccer team changing the way we view soccer? The sport is insanely popular in America. That's kind of the crux, right? Like, it's kind of interesting. Soccer, wildly popular. In fact, I think it's probably the most, from a youth standpoint, it's probably the most popular sport. Everybody's
probably the most played.
Probably most played, right?
Yeah.
So that won't change, but what I'm, of course, referring to is, do we see this run change the way we view, like, viewing habits and taking the sport in as a whole?
Carey, for sure. Yeah. So I think this is a tough question. I really do, because this is the World Cup. And before the World Cup started, I told you guys, I don't really watch any soccer, really don't. The World Cups, I like to watch the World Cup. Mm-hmm. And now the U.S. has never been, in the recent history, has not been relevant. Canada has not been relevant. So I'm watching Brazil, Argentina, Portugal, all these. They're playing a great game of soccer. But so your question is, like, what next, right? Mm-hmm. So whenever this U.S. run ends, whether it's with holding the World Cup or when it ends in the upcoming games, whatever, in my opinion, it's already been a success.
Agreed.
But how do you keep the new soccer fan or soccer person engaged? Because when some of these other countries are done with the World Cup, they go back to play for their teams, like Real Madrid, Manchester United. Like, it's not hard to stay in. And this is no disrespect to the MLS at all, but if you talk to a true soccer person globally, they'll say that the MLS is, quite a few notches down from the top leagues worldwide.
Like 7th or 8th.
Yeah, somewhere in there. So then how do you keep a fan engaged? Because what they're watching right now, that's like a Picasso. You're like, man, it's the best of the best. Mm-hmm. And then when you put on the 7th or 8th best league in the world, it's not as pretty to watch, and maybe you're not as engaged. Maybe the names, who are these guys? Like, I don't really know. Now, the passion from the fans is still there. Each fan base has their own passionate fans and all. Not disrespecting soccer, but how do you keep the newly acquired fan engaged for the next 4 years?
I don't know.
That's the key.
Right.
In the United States, other countries not as hard because their top leagues are really good.
Right. It would be like the EPL is kind of like the NFL or the NHL for us. Then it's asking us, as soccer fans, to then therefore watch the 7th best NHL. What would be the 7th best
league?
NHL league?
Doesn't exist.
Exactly.
I mean, it's men's league.
Right. So here, watch this men's league.
It's the ball hockey league that I was playing in.
Runners up. Runners up, baby. I think you're right, though. I think you're right. There's what's the crossover? There is none. Do you know what the crossover honestly is watching the Premier League. And I don't think I'm going to get there. I don't think I'm going to choose a Premier League team to follow.
That's unfortunate.
It is.
Because you said yesterday that you like waking up early to watch games.
I know. You're right. Maybe I should.
You like Ted Lasso. That's a good start.
Good call. I'll watch. You know who I'm going to root for? I'm going to root for the Greyhounds.
Yeah.
I'm going to root for AFC Richmond. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, Jamie.
Who's your favorite player?
Well,
Roy
Jamie.
Kent. Roy Kent.
He's there. He's everywhere. Roy Kent. Jamie Tart, of course. Number 9. All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We got to take care of business, gentlemen. Joey's going to join us next. He won yesterday. we'll have Joey back on for the Gauntlet and see who he picks next on 101 ESPN.
Warriors, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It is 4:04 here in the Fast Lane. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers. It's time for the Gauntlet here on 101 ESPN. Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, and our guy, Joey. Joey, happy birthday, man. How you doing?
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm great. Great. How about yourself?
We're good. Hey, let's talk about batting practice today. You know, your mom set up a special batting practice for your birthday. How'd it go?
I think it's later on tonight.
It's actually not until 6 o'clock. So I plan on hitting one into the tarps off section.
All right.
Ooh. Are you lefty or righty?
I'm a righty, so it's going to be tough. But
a little Oppo Taco.
That'd be great. Well, unfortunately, Stanik's not available to pitch batting.
Oh, come on, Jamie. That's not respectful.
He's on paternity leave.
I thought they were bringing in Michaelis.
Oh, geez. What's going on here?
He's a yeah, but he might make a special appearance.
And Joey, you defended.
I did. I'm still a defender of him. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can't help you. Well, you know, he had some good years. He did. In all fairness, he did some good. Not like he's Fetty.
I didn't say that.
I did.
Anybody else? Brett Cecil?
Yeah, it wasn't a good signing. Yeah,
great.
No.
There's a stint there, a guy named Roy Croft.
Whoa. Hey, easy. Easy. I don't know. Anyways, Joey, as you know, it's down to Marsh, Jamie, or me for round 2 of the Gauntlet. Who would you like to go with?
Well, I know Jamie wants his revenge. So with that being said, I'm going to have to go with Marshy.
I kind of felt that. I kind of felt that he was going a different route. All right, go ahead and tell Andrew Marsh to spin that wheel.
Marcy, spin that wheel.
Good luck, Joey.
Thank you.
All right, so Marsh is going to head to the cone of silence. Joey, what category are you hoping for?
Man, I've been wanting baseball, but against Marshy, I'm not so sure. Random might be nice.
Yeah,
Well,
Marsh.
you didn't get random.
All right.
What did
You didn't get hockey.
Oh,
well, that's good.
You got baseball.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
All right, so you did kind of want baseball. So that's what you got.
As long as it's post Bush 3 era.
I'm looking at these, previewing. A little from column A, a little from column B. All right, here we go. 4 baseball-related questions, Joey. Each one is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Dansby Swanson hit 3 home runs and had a career-high RBI, or 8 RBI, I should say, as the Cubs pounded the Padres 23-3 yesterday. Identify the organization that selected Dansby Swanson with the number 1 overall pick in 2015.
That was the Arizona Diamondbacks because they traded into the Braves. So Diamondbacks, final answer.
All right, Joey, question 2. Kent Bottenfield was a 1999 All-Star for the Cardinals. He joined who else as the only St. Louis starters with more than 190 innings pitched that season?
In 99, you said?
Correct.
Ooh. I don't know if that was the Matt Morris time. I will need the option.
All right. Was it Matt Morris, Garrett Stevenson, or Darren Oliver?
Ooh. Forgot about Darren Oliver. Let's go with Matty Moe. Matt Morris, final answer.
All right, Joey, question 3. Ketel Marte recently passed Paul Goldschmidt for the second most hits in Diamondbacks history. Who stands atop the Arizona heap with 1,337 career base knocks?
Of course, I was watching that game, and they showed the stat, but I'll need the options.
Justin Upton, Luis Gonzalez, Chris Young.
Oh, geez. None of those sound familiar. Let's go with Justin Upton. He seems like he was there a while. Final answer.
All right, Joey, final question here. Brian Cashman is the longest tenured general manager in Major League Baseball. When was he appointed to that position for the Yankees?
I know they had a couple of years where they weren't making the playoffs, and I know it's the Yankee standard. I know the Red Sox won the World Series in 2013, so they probably wanted to put their name back on the map after that. So I'll say 2014. Final answer.
All right.
All right, we'll bring back Andrew Marsh from the Cone of Silence. Joey, how you feeling?
I'm pretty sure I got that first one. After that, it's a crapshoot.
Okay. Marsh is coming back in now from the Cone of Silence.
Marshy looks disappointed.
You all right, Marsh?
Come on, buddy. You got a piece of paper with you.
What did that piece of paper do to you?
Gentlemen, we got an email.
Oh, wow. We want to do it now?
We don't have to. Don't worry. It's not like that other email.
I was about to say, I got PTSD from an email one time.
We'll wait.
Okay.
As long as it's not the one Schilt got.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Is it a good email?
No.
No, it's a negative email.
Of course.
Yeah.
Who sends good emails about the shows on 101 ESPN? You just listen and
nobody.
enjoy.
Yeah. All right. Soccer fan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. That makes sense. Remember I was telling you before? Actually, you know where the mics are off, so.
Yeah.
Hey, you got baseball today, Marsh.
Okay.
Yeah, baseball today.
Pack a lunch.
All righty.
Question 1. Dansby Swanson hit 3 home runs and had a career-high 8 RBI as the Cubs pounded the Padres 23-3 on Wednesday. Identify the organization that selected him with the number 1 overall pick in 2015.
Oh, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Atlanta Braves. Unless he was picked by somebody else and then traded. But... Oh, or was it... No, I'm thinking of a different guy. I'll go with the Braves. Final answer.
Question 2. Kent Bottenfield was a 1999 All-Star for the Cardinals. He joined who else as the only St. Louis starters with more than 190 innings pitched that season?
You said 99?
Correct.
Let's use the options.
Was it Matt Morris, Garrett Stevenson, or Darren Oliver?
Ooh. Matt Morris is a good one. I'm going to go with Darren Oliver. Final answer.
Question 3. Ketel Marte recently passed Paul Goldschmidt for the second most hits in Diamondbacks history. Who stands atop the Arizona heap with 1,337 career base knocks?
For the Diamondbacks?
Yes, sir.
Ooh. Who had a long tenure in Arizona? Be Luis Gonzalez? Trying to think here. Let's just use the option. I think it's Luis Gonzalez, but maybe there's another name on there that I'm not thinking of.
Justin Upton, Luis Gonzalez, Chris Young.
Who was it? Justin Upton.
Justin Upton, Luis Gonzalez, Chris Young.
I feel like Justin Upton played for other teams, though, unless that was his brother. I said Luis Gonzalez. I'll go with Luis Gonzalez. Final answer.
Final question. Brian Cashman is the longest tenured general manager in Major League Baseball. When was he appointed to that position for the Yankees?
What year?
Correct.
Oh, man. I think it was before their 2009 World Series. I'll use the options.
Was it 1996, 1998, or 1999?
Okay. You said 96, 98, or 99?
That's correct.
Huh. Man, I kind of want to go with my birth year. But it was somebody else in that spot before him, and then he took over. I feel like maybe he took over and they won one World Series and then lost the... Oh, man. Whatever. I'll go with my birth year, 1996. Final answer.
Okay.
Not feeling good. This email really put me in a spin.
Oh, it must be something. Boy, oh boy.
Let's go over these. Joey versus Marsh in baseball. Dansby Swanson hit 3 home runs and had a career high 8 RBI as the Cubs pounded the Padres 23-3 on Wednesday. Identify the organization that selected him with the number 1 overall pick in 2015. Marsh went with the Braves. Joey went with the Diamondbacks. Correct answer is
Arizona Diamondbacks.
Wow.
He was traded to the Braves from the Diamondbacks. Joey knew that. He knew that off the top of his noggin.
Wow. He did.
2 points for Joey right off the bat.
Man, I'm done.
Unless you're Senegal, Joey.
Oh.
We'll find out.
Oh, no.
Kent Bottenfield was a 1999 All-Star for the Cardinals. He joined who else as the only St. Louis starters with more than 190 innings pitched that season? With the options, Marsh went with Darren Oliver. With the options, Joey went with Matt Morris. Correct answer is
Darren Oliver.
Marsh cuts into the lead.
In the 80th minute.
Now it's now 2-1. Ketel Marte recently passed Paul Goldschmidt for the second most hits in Diamondbacks history. Who stands atop the Arizona heap with 1,337 career base knocks? With the options, Marsh went with Luis Gonzalez. With the options, Joey went with Justin Upton. Correct answer is
Luis Gonzalez.
We're all knotted up at 2-2.
Should not use the options.
Uh-oh.
Could Marsh win in extra time now.
I don't like this, Anthony. You're so good at making me feel good.
Or does he have to go to penalties? Question 4. All nodded at 2. Brian Cashman is the longest tenured general manager in Major League Baseball. When was he appointed to that position for the Yankees? Marsh, listen to the options. He went with his birth year of 1996. Joey, without the options, went with 2014.
Oh, okay.
So Joey swung and missed, which he won't do tonight, by the way.
No.
Batting practice.
Like,
Not on his birthday. But we know that Joey is now praying for penalty kicks.
I want to hear Janet's voice.
Jamie, what year did Brian Cashman take over as GM for the Yanks?
1998.
Joey.
Walk it off.
Here we go. Got a walk
There
off.
she is.
You got a walk off. Here we go.
Ooh, good thing I have my new marker. I can use it to write my answer down.
We'll be able to see it clearly this time. All right. So it works. Joey, you're going to wait on your answer. You're going to hold off on your answer until Marsh writes down his answer and shows Jamie and I. Once he does that, Joey, we're going to go to you. We're going to need an answer pretty quickly. All right?
Yes, sir.
Closest to the pin wins. Here's your tiebreaker question. In Game 1 of the 1968 World Series against the Tigers, Cardinals ace Bob Gibson struck out how many batters?
Can you repeat the question, please?
In Game 1 of the 1968 World Series against the Tigers, Cardinals ace Bob Gibson struck out how many batters?
Okay. Huh. All right, I have this number. Okay. I don't think it's right, but I'm going to throw it on the whiteboard either way.
Okay. We have his answer. Joey, what's yours?
I'm going to go 14. I had 2 numbers in mind, and I went with the lower of the 2.
What was the other number you had in your head?
20. I thought that was his 20 strikeout game.
Okay. Marsh, you wrote down
15.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Marsh wrote down 15. Joey just said 14. So, Jamie, in Game 1 of the 1968 World Series against the Tigers, Cardinals ace Bob Gibson struck out how many batters?
17.
Joey.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
You know, Joey. The reason why I asked you what did you choose high? Because I thought maybe you would hit it 17, right, or 16.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have made a difference.
Exactly.
That makes it better.
Exactly.
Yep.
If you would have went with 20, Marsh still would have been closer. Real tough one. When you nailed the Dansby Swanson question, I'm like, oh man, Marsh is in for it today.
Yeah, I thought I was in for a good one.
Yeah. Sorry, Joey, but hey, happy birthday. Enjoy batting practice down at Busch Stadium tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much. Can I give a quick shout out?
Sure.
Of course, I forgot about my sister-in-law, Jess, so quick shout out to her, and to my lovely dog back home. Her grandma's watching her, and her name is Izzy. Izzy.
Love it. Joey, thanks, pal. We know that you're a diehard listener. We really appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for the entertainment. I swear, I listen every day.
Thanks,
we know
Joey.
that. Appreciate you, Joey.
Sorry
Enjoy
to ruin your birthday.
Way to go, Marshy.
Hey, you know what? I'll just have to hit one into Tarp Soft to make up for it.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Enjoy, Joey. We'll see you, pal.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Really good guy. We already knew that.
Yeah.
We already knew he was in trouble. He chose the good guy killer.
Grim Reaper.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, Marsh. Do we read this email now?
I say we tease it.
All right. So we have a scathing email waiting for us.
Mm-hmm. Still no lineup, by the way.
Okay. Well, we'll get to this email next. Jamie and I have not seen it, and you know what?
I think it's going to be disappointing for true soccer fans who want others to enjoy their sport.
That's a good tease too. Yeah. Yep. All right. We won't read it in the break, so we'll hear it live next on 101 ESPN. So Marsh, right before he came back in from the cone of silence, apparently he had an email printed off. I imagine you got tipped off by Mike Ryder that there was an email waiting.
That's correct, Anthony.
Okay. We've not read this.
Not heard it.
We've not heard it. Yep. So go ahead, Marsh.
Do you want the name? Not the full name, of course.
Yes, I want the name.
Okay,
We want names.
This is from Joe.
Joe. Joe what?
Joe Dirt.
Last initial.
No initial. I don't have the initial.
Oh, okay.
Just Joe.
Joe.
You don't have the.
It just says Joe on here.
Oh, okay.
No last name.
I'm sure there's a last name that was associated with the email, but I was not given said
You're not
last name.
privy to the information. All right.
Yeah.
It's probably best.
Yeah, probably.
All right, here we go, gentlemen. Every morning, I wake up and go to work and listen to you guys. Please stop talking about Major League Baseball, basketball, hockey, stupid stuff. The World Cup is on, and you guys barely touch it. No other sport even matters in comparison to this. No one even cares about the other sports. Please talk World Cup. Get cultured. It's not just a 1 hour segment. It's every day, all until the end. No one cares about NBA trades. Now, if I had to guess, this was not directed at us.
Yeah, they said morning.
100%.
Listening to the podcast, of course, you can download all of those podcasts.
Oh, what is this?
What? And that is brought to you by Schaefer Door Company.
We have another one?
I guess we have another one.
Mike Ryder, hot off the press here.
Jeez.
Never mind mic drops. We're getting emails.
Yeah.
We've really pissed people off.
This is actually
not the
to
daily
us.
drop. This is the daily dump on 101.
This is to us. I'm just reading this. This is from Mike. I don't have a last
Mike
name.
Ryder?
No, well, I don't think is Mike Ryder.
From Mike?
No, it's
okay,
not.
different
No.
Mike. All right.
I listen mainly to the Fast Lane. Thank you, Mike. And while they seem to be trying to talk about the World Cup, they're not doing a good job.
Ah, there it is.
May I suggest trying to get someone with soccer knowledge in the studio to talk about and explain not only the World Cup, but also MLS STL City. You can try Bill McDermott, Taylor Twellman, or any other retired soccer player still living here. I believe Taylor Twellman's on TMA, isn't he?
TMA.
I've heard him on there before.
He was on there?
He's been on there a couple times.
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this goes back to what I said.
That could have been a text message.
Seam was spelled wrong, by the way. And the only reason I'm putting it, I throw that out there is because the Snake Pit was taking kind of fun, wagers on whether or not there'll be any misspellings.
There is.
So there is one. There's seam.
There's usually misspellings when someone's typing with rage.
That's true. And I don't feel a lot of rage here. So I would say seam is one. May I suggest probably okay, but maybe technically it's might I suggest?
Yeah.
Either way. Go ahead, Jimmy.
This goes back to what I said earlier. So why the hell would we talk about your sport if you're not going to encourage us to have open dialogue about it? Why would we? Now I'm going to go back to poking fun. It's soccer.
Oh, no.
Well, think about it. Like, here we are. We're excited about the World Cup. We're bringing soccer content to a show that doesn't usually. Well, why don't you have more? Bring on a professional. Have somebody know what the hell they're talking about. Okay. Asshat.
Whoa. No, Mike. He signed it, Mike.
I think it was the other guy. I can't remember who sent what.
Mike.
Email, whatever,
Yeah.
Mike. Like, what do you want here? Again,
I think he said what he wants.
Talk about my sport. But don't talk about it unless you know everything about it, because I'm sure Mike knows everything about soccer. He's a very successful soccer player, manager,
person,
sporting director for, whatever club.
Kansas City, probably.
Whatever, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He plays indoor soccer at Veta. Nothing wrong with that, but...
I was say Killian plays indoor soccer.
There's nothing wrong with it. My point is, like...
He loves it.
Come on.
Yeah. No, Jamie, if I may, might. It would kind of be like somebody inviting us, the Fast Lane, over to their house. You're going to have a party, right? Hey, guys, come on over. Please come on over. We're having a party, very specific party. We want you guys to be there. Mm-hmm. And we say, nah, you know what? That's not our scene. Thank you, but no thank you. We're gonna stay on our side of the street. Okay. Finally, though, we head over to that party house. Hey, this is great. Thanks so much for inviting us. And then as soon as we get in there, you tear us to shreds.
You ambush us.
You ambush us, which is also a soccer team locally, or was maybe at some point.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
Yep.
Thank
Family
you.
Arena.
Yep. Good, clean fun, folks. Check out the ambush. Anyways, you invite us over. You ambush us. You ridicule us over and over and over. Well, guess what we're going to do?
We're going to go to Jamie's house for a party.
We're burning that house to the ground.
Oh.
As long as nobody's in it.
With you. Yeah, as long as nobody's in there.
I just sure.
And Anthony, make sure it's the right house. We know that you've been to the wrong house before.
Yeah.
I did that once. Jamie's neighbors are fantastic. They're great people.
So are your neighbors. I've never been to your house. That's right.
Oh, come on over this weekend.
Oh, really? Really? I invited you over.
You did. Again. I'm such a scumbag.
From a 314. That's a ridiculous take. You should some general knowledge. This is ESPN.
We do have general knowledge. That's what we've been talking about for 3 days now.
Yeah, we have general knowledge.
Pal.
We have general knowledge on this topic.
General knowledge.
We've never hid behind that.
314, what's your extensive knowledge in the world of soccer? Please give me the ins and outs of how great you are at breaking down the game.
Right.
I think all these people run their mouths, okay? But if we sat them down in one of these chairs and we asked them about a systems thing for a certain team or a country or whatever, they'd sit there, they'd spew out some garbage that makes no sense at all. It'll sound soccer-ish. They don't know anything either, some of these people. Not all of them. Some of them, I'm sure, are well-versed soccer people, coaching, playing, all the above. Some of these people who think they're soccer people don't know as much as they think they do. So, heaven forbid, here in the fast lane, we have a take on the World Cup. We talk passionately about how awesome it's been. Don't do that.
And we get crushed.
Yep. Don't do that.
You know what? You ruined it.
Yep.
This is your fault. It's your fault, people.
You guys have Brad on to talk baseball, just trying to help you out, but whatever. Hey, you know, I'm going to say something, Anthony, and I might regret this. Okay?
Do you want to take?
It's hot in here. First
do you
of all,
want to take a beat?
Really hot.
As one of your good friends, you want to take a beat?
No.
Okay.
No. For the 5 of you that are yelling at us right now on the text line, or anywhere else for that matter, there's 500 other people who don't want to hear about your soccer. They don't want to talk to your MLS player. They don't want to talk to the local sporting director of some club. They just don't want to hear it. They don't. In fact, they'd rather ask us what our favorite movie was in the 90s and talk about that. So I don't know what you want from us. If you want soccer talk to go away, hey, no problem. No problem. When this World Cup's over, nope.
I can take that a step further. They do deep dive analytics. When we start to talk soccer, not the World Cup, this is different. We start to talk World Soccer. The numbers, people are listening, they have actual information. It drops off a cliff. So if you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, you're high as a kite on this soccer stuff, just want to let you know, the majority of the people tune us out and off. And it's not because we don't know what the hell we're talking about, because we don't. It's because they don't want to hear it. So
they don't hear it. And we hear about it on text line. We might get 2 or 3 of your texts that are like pro soccer and you guys stink. And we get 300 people going, stop talking soccer. I'm going over to station.
Just changed the channel.
Just changed.
Yeah. So, you ruined it. So, Jamie said it right. Why don't we get to the sports six-pack?
This should be fun.
Marsh, just pick out a couple.
Just find something.
That'd be great. Sports six-pack. Next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals are back in action tonight, once again taking on the Atlanta Braves. Dustin May is on the mound, and we have a first pitch of 6:15. If you missed anything from today's show, including our interview with Chris Kerber or the press conference held earlier today for Mason McTavish, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobstein Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our interviews and all of our shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next. Get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. We'll answer your questions next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
Refreshed by Urban Chestnut. Urban Chestnut Swickle Light Premium Light Beer. Live your lifestyle, St. Louis.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack. Only doing one today.
Yeah.
Only going to do one. 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. Marsh, go.
Question number one.
All right, from the 573, what was your guys' favorite movie from the 1990s, and could you briefly talk about it?
Dude, there's so many great movies from the 90s.
I spend half my time every day on buses traveling from one city to another, playing junior hockey and then in the minors. So I'd have to pull up a list here.
Jamie, there's no shortage. You've got Jurassic Park. You've got any number of the Mighty Ducks. You've got Pixar came on the scene with like Toy Story and
Toy Story's up there.
Bugs Life, whatever it is. Seven,
Schindler's List,
which is the exact opposite of the Pixar movies.
Yeah, it's so different.
Seven, awesome.
Good Will Hunting, 1997.
Forrest Gump, I think it was 94.
Yeah. It was definitely the 90s for sure.
When was Saving Private Ryan? That was in there.
Yeah,
in the 90s.
Was that the 90s?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
I
Boys
think
in the Hood.
It came out right after Good Will Hunting.
There you go.
Sling Blade, Silence of the Lambs, 1991. That's one of my all-time favorite movies. So I can talk about that. It is not what I expected. I'll never forget. It was on a bus, and somebody said, everybody always used to argue about what movies and whatnot. And so he'd always throw somebody up there, sewer somebody. Hey, just pick one. And you knew whatever he picked, everybody hated it. Like, just because.
Yeah.
And this one guy's name was Rick Bodkin. We call him Ricky the Body. He was like 6'5", 160 pounds. Not much of a body to him.
There's just a head.
Yeah. Great guy, though. Great guy. He said, well, the Silence of the Lambs. I had no idea. I'm like, Silence of the Lambs? Like, what is this? Like a National Geographic?
Yeah,
like what?
right.
I had no idea what it was.
Drama?
They put it on, and like 10 minutes in, you couldn't hear a thing on the bus.
Yeah.
Which was
locked
rare.
in.
People were locked in. I was locked in. The whole concept of, Hannibal Lecter and then the ties to the Buffalo Bill guy and all the things along. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's good. That's how I feel about Seven.
Yes.
All the
twists and turns and just little...
the writing, the acting, the balance between Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt. You know, Brad Pitt being the young, like, hotshot detective, Morgan Freeman on his way out, trying to get the young buck to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I won't ruin it. No spoilers here.
No. How about this one? The Truman Show.
Oh, it's a good movie.
So, but let's think about the tentacles of that. Because the whole basis of the Truman Show was that they take an unknowing person and video them broadcasting their everyday life on TV. And then you fast forward to 10-ish years later, reality TV is everywhere. So whoever wrote the Truman Show, I wonder, I'm going to go back, I'm going to do a little deep dive and see if they were a part of any of the released reality TV shows after that, knowing that that's where the market was kind of going.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Pretty disgusted with you, Anthony. I cannot believe that
Jurassic Park.
There it is.
No, I said it first.
What about the program?
The program, absolutely. Yeah, I said Jurassic Park first.
My bad. I did not hear you say Jurassic.
He did say it right away.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Honestly, if I had to go with one, I'd probably go with Jurassic Park. That movie, I wanted nothing to do with. I was in grade school or maybe middle school at the time. Middle school. And I had to always go down to the neighbor's house. There's a couple of sisters. And they all want to go see Jurassic Park. I'm like, what? I don't want to go see dinosaurs. From the first scene, I'm like with the Silence of the Lambs. First scene with the raptor, I'm like, this is the greatest thing.
Jurassic Park?
Yeah. Like, this is the greatest thing ever.
The original?
Yes.
So I was with a buddy of mine, my buddy Rob. I came back at like Christmas time from Sudbury. And we were out like looking for kind of a time killer in that 7 o'clock range before we do anything else that we think is fun. Like, step up to the theater and we're like, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It was the only thing. It was like, it starts in 10 minutes. Sure, let's go ahead. Sat down. It was pretty full. I was like, okay. And all of a sudden, it was like, whoa. And my seat was rattling. These dinosaurs are coming through the freaking screen. Little kids who were in there were frightened. They're terrified. People didn't know this wasn't going to be your friendly little dinosaur.
Right, the Land Before Time in real life.
Oh, man.
Isn't it amazing, though? Like, they are still making those movies, and I don't know if I've seen one dinosaur in the rest of the movies that they've made that have looked as good as the original.
Yeah.
They use, like, CGI and all that crap now. And they can't replicate the practical effects that they used in the 90s. You could say the same thing for a lot of different movie franchises. That
sure.
It just looked better, or at least the aesthetic of it looked better than, I know you guys aren't big Star Wars fans, but like the original trilogy, the effects that they used. Now, I mean, this is back in like the 70s, but, compare that to the CGI that they used in the prequel trilogy, like
some of it's
kind of goofy to look back at now.
It's so over the top that it's not believable, almost.
Yeah. The uncanny valley.
There's, the snake pits all over. They got a bunch. I just saw Zeus say
Titanic.
Happy Gilmore. Titanic was big.
It's the
biggest
Gators
movie
and
ever.
Natural Born Killers. I know that Splashback Deuce had a couple in
Reservoir
there as well.
Dogs. Like the 90s had some movies, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Good old Boogie Nights, Anthony.
Boogie Nights.
Your favorite.
Oh, sure. Austin
Question
Powers were all in the
number 2.
90s too, right?
Yeah.
Original.
From the 309, what would be the biggest bandwagon teams in each of the 4 major sports leagues that someone could start rooting for?
Biggest
bandwagon
teams?
Florida Panthers.
Yep.
Are we talking about currently or historically?
Let's just go currently, because I think currently would make it would be easier.
It'd be a lot easier to narrow it down because historically, imagine
Well, I'm thinking like the Dallas Cowboys.
like the 1917 Montreal
yeah.
Canadiens.
The the early 90s Cowboys. Yeah.
Well, how about when the Canadians won 5 Stanley Cups in a row?
Yeah, that would do.
So
MJ's just be the 90s. MJ's Bulls.
Yeah. Let's stick to current.
Panthers for sure. Florida
Panthers. In the NHL. I think that's an easy one. You look at the lineup and you go, yeah, I'm jumping on board. Oh, now you are?
Yeah, right. College football, Ohio State.
You think so? Okay.
What about basketball? Is it the Knicks? Is it really? I don't know if you're jumping on the bandwagon for the Knicks.
No.
How long are we going back? Because if we go back 15 years, let's just say 15 years.
Here he goes.
I would say
going to pass this guy.
Well, no, I think it's a part of it though. I would say Golden State.
For sure.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Right now in the NFL, maybe the Chiefs.
It should be the Chiefs, but they've got some questions. But Chiefs would probably be the easiest one. Dodgers.
Dodgers.
We missed the layup.
Or Yankees. I mean, it's always the Yankees.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Dodgers for sure.
The Dodgers.
Waterboy, who's jumping on the Central Michigan Chippewas. Not a bad idea.
FUCMU. Let's go.
Time to go.
Fire up chips. Now, what about soccer, though, Anthony?
I'm afraid to get my answer.
For the English Premier League, Manchester City. I would go with Man City.
That's enough for that.
Yeah. MLS, you can't. There's it's the parity. It's parity-driven league.
Yeah. From the 314, you guys aren't professional movie critics. Why the hell are you trying to break them down? Get someone who is a professional and bring it on air.
That's amazing.
That's an amazing text.
You know what? Maybe I'll give Jackson a call. He has a show called Movie Boy. We'll have him on the show.
Oh, my goodness.
Super Brad. Ace Ventura.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
May I ask you a few questions?
Dang. That's a good movie.
That was a great text, by the way.
Yeah, that was an awesome text. Well done.
I needed that.
Get a movie critic on. Isn't that funny too? Like a movie critic. We're all movie critics.
It's all like.
So we'd all be sports critics.
Yeah.
We're all watching it and giving our own opinion on what we're
No,
seeing.
you're not allowed. You got to be an expert.
No? Oh, okay, got it. And what qualifies as an expert?
You know.
Okay.
That thing.
Got it. All right. I think we have a lineup game to play because we got a lineup out. We'll do that next on 101 ESPN. Game here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Braves and Cardinals will play the rubber match tonight at Truist Park. Looking forward to this one. A little late today with the lineup, huh? So is there a surprise?
Did somebody get a little banged up?
Maybe. Hurston Waltrip.
The third.
Yeah. Hurston Waltrip. Is going to be the pitcher for the Braves tonight. He's a right-hander. Got no record, so this is either an opener or maybe a kid that not used to starting. Dustin May will start for the Cardinals.
Okay.
Waltrip, a right-hander. All right. Go ahead, Jamie.
Show us JJ Weatherboy.
What's the best kind of firework to buy?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Show us Ivan Herrera.
What's your favorite position?
Designated hitter.
That's cool with me. It's not my favorite, but I'll do it for you.
Early here?
Yeah.
Show us Alec Burleson.
He's not some magic star.
What? You're insane. He's a huge star at this specific sliver of time.
Marsh, you go ahead and show us Jordan Walker.
That one touched the ground. That one touched the ground.
Yeah. What's going on there? I'm just fixing something that's been bugging me.
Wait a minute. What have we here?
All right, Newt, show us Lars Nootbaar.
Captain, you hear me? On your left.
Show us Mason Wynn.
Shortstop, that's right. Now and forever and ever, shortstop.
We aren't in the top 10.
Wait.
This is bull.
He's the best in the business.
Best arm in baseball.
All right,
so let's pause here.
Yesterday was
Church, Jordan, and
so we need a catcher because Herrera's not going to catch, I don't think.
I say it's Church, Jordan, Pajes.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I could combine that.
You get on board with that? All right. Show us Nathan Church.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones.
All right. Show us Blaze Jordan.
It was Johnny Hopkins and Sloan Kettering, and they were blazing that up every day.
Hang on.
Pause or Crooks?
Well, it's a righty on the bump. Crooks, a left-handed bat.
Being Crooks?
I don't know. I mean, he caught last night, but I don't feel like they have a whole lot of confidence in Pajes lately, especially as a hitter. But Crooks did catch last night.
Jamie, I believe in you. You said Crooks first. And one of the things that you always taught me is go with your gut.
Yeah, unless you're wrong.
I believe in my teammate, Marsh. Show us Jimmy Crooks.
Who are you?
Nobody.
No. I know you.
Let's
I know
go.
you. He was at that party with me, the one I was telling you about.
Let's go.
Remember? He's Jimmy's brother, the guy, the singer.
Wow. All right. Perfect. Nice job, guys.
Ooh, baby.
Nice job. Marsh, go ahead and run that thing.
All right, leading off, your second baseman, J.J. Weatherholt, batting second. The DH, Ivan Herrera, batting third, playing first base, Alec Burleson. Your cleanup hitter in right field, Jordan Walker. Batting fifth in left field, Lars Nootbaar. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Mason Wynn. Batting seventh in center is Nathan Church. Batting eighth and playing third base is Blaze Jordan. And batting ninth and catching, Jimmy Crooks.
Back. Stay fair.
Go foul.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run.
All right.
It's been a while since we've had one, huh?
Yeah, we have not. Well, the Cardinals really haven't hit a ton of home runs of late. So Andrew Marsh still leads us. He's got 13. I've got 12. Jamie has 10, and CD has 6.
Correct.
So, Andrew Marsh.
I'm going to go with Alec Burleson tonight.
Damn you.
Good old Alec Burleson. Give me... Yeah, let's go back to Walker. Yeah, I feel like he didn't hit one in a while. Let's go Walker.
All right, give me Herrera. I'm going back to my guy.
Yeah.
And CD said...
We wanted Walker, who's off the board. Then he has Wynn.
Yep, all right.
All right, there you go. So there's your lineup game. There's your home run derby. And it's Fast Line on 101 at ESPN. Coming up next, biggest question of the day.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day. Presented by Banner Construction, the experts in James Hardy Siding.
501, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Time for the biggest question of the day. Marshy, go.
Jamie, you posed in the before we got the show going. Is Alex Steen showing us that it's gonna feel like old school Blues hockey again?
Yeah, baby. Listening to Alex Steen describe... Well, first of all, let's go back to the promotions or additions to Alex Steen's front office. Promotion to Keith Tkachuk, old school.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Bortuzzo, old school type player. Like, everywhere you're looking, he's adding some of these guys. Chris Thorburn getting a promotion as well. Chris Thorburn played an old school style of game. Alex Steen continuously talking about competing, being tough to play against in practice, tough to play against in games, and not giving an inch, taking an inch back. Like, net front, everything is indicating to me that he's wanting to have a Blues roster that Blues fans got used to seeing for many, many years before, where not every single guy was a blue-collar type player, but you had enough of them in your lineup to keep everything straight out there and to be physically competitive night in and night out. So that was the first thing for me that kind of resonated. And then after talking about all of those things, they go out and they get a Mason McTavish, who he's only 6'1", but he's like 220. He, solid on his feet, drives to the net, not afraid to get involved physically, competes out there, got high-end skill. So he's giving you a bit of both worlds. Then you get Brandon Carlo, huge body on the blue line. You add a Ross Johnson, mammoth individual up front. And just so happens to be a guy who was tied for the most fights in the NHL last year. So you're bringing that element back. You really haven't had that guy since Ryan Reeves. Like, Pat Maroon was in there, but Pat, I never called Pat like an enforcer. He wasn't. He's a guy who wasn't afraid to fight. And as he got later in his career, maybe he fought a little more than he scored. But, you look at some of his years in Anaheim and then in Edmonton, this guy was a really talented player. So I don't put him in the Ryan Reeves category. Whereas Ross Johnson, he's limited offensively, solid defensively, very physical, and will drop the mitts with anybody who wants to have a shot at it. In fact, we were listening to Mason McTavish earlier today talking about himself, and then somebody did ask him a question about Ross Johnson, and who better to ask than a former teammate of his of what we can expect from Ross Johnson. Here's Mason McTavish.
Ross he's unreal. He's the best, one of the best guys. Plays hard. Obviously don't want to mess with that guy for sure. And he had a really good year offensively last year. So, he's a great teammate, great friend. So I'm excited to kind of see how he does this year. And, I remember I think it was my first camp. I forget somebody he was like taking a puck to the net in training camp, and I think me and him actually got into it a little bit. I didn't really want to, but he kind of did, and but it was funny. We just kind of laughed about it now, but we kind of had a little wrestle match, and I definitely was not thrilled about it going into it. But no, he's a great guy and a great friend.
You talk about not thrilled about it. Last year in Anaheim, our buddy Tyler Tucker hammered somebody on the ice, and when he turned around, Ross Johnson happened to be on the ice at the same time. And he knew it was go time, and talking to Tux after, he's like, I knew I had to go, and I wasn't really thrilled about it. This guy's pretty tough. Tux stood in there as best he could. Johnson hit him with a really hard one. I thought it hurt him. It didn't. Tuck's a tough guy. Got up and skated away from it, but that's what you're getting. And Mason McTavish talking about had a good year offensively. 3 goals, 11 assists for 14 points last year. And just for comparison, somebody who we think has more upside offensively. Let's talk about Alexei Toropchenko for a second. Alexei Toropchenko, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points in 65 games. So Torpo played more games, scored less points. And that's not a knock against Toropchenko. All that is just identifying that Ross Johnson might be better than what some people think he is. He can contribute more. So that's why it feels to me like Alex Steen is building a throwback team with a modern group of skills at the same time. So players who can skate, pass, shoot, do all those things, but are going to play with an edge. And that edge isn't necessarily fighting or doing dirty stuff. It's taking a hit to make a play. It's making a hit when you're supposed to. It's blocking a shot when you're able to. It's getting the puck to the net, getting bodies to the net. Being a team that plays with edge, all that means you're a team that's willing to do whatever it takes to win a hockey game. You look at the Florida Panthers. Sam Bennett is a very tough individual. But apart from that, they're just a group of guys that play with edge. And then every time there's a scrum, there's 5 Panthers players in there.
Yep.
That's what you want your Blues to look like. That's what Blues fans want to see on the Enterprise ice every time they have a home game.
Sure.
And I think Steener's identified what this city wants, and he's also identified what can help this team win in the NHL.
And what it takes to win in the playoffs. I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm seeing, Jamie, when you look at the moves that have been made for the offseason. Johnston brings steady presence, physical, tough, somebody you're not going to mess with. And, I was listening, I forget who BK and Ferrario had on, but they were talking about signing kind of your tough guy, quote unquote, to only 1 year. They signed him 3 years. Blues signed for 3 years.
It's a commitment.
They're committing to him. You're going to serve in this role. And this isn't going to be a 1 year flyer.
No.
3 years we're committing to you. Every move has complemented the one prior to it. And I think that Alexander Steen, who now finally has the keys, he is building a clear identity. This is what I want from my team.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a team. Building blocks, not just throw crap against the wall or throw a bunch of, here, we're just going to bring talent in the building and we'll figure it out. No. Here you go, Jim Montgomery. Here's the exact team that we're building. Now you go ahead and execute. I love it. I love what they're doing.
So we get a lot of texts right now of people that are excited, that love it. So we say, hey.
Jeff Merrick, by the way. Thank you, Jeremy, from the Snake Pit.
Oh, okay.
That was the guest they had on.
Oh. So 314 says, hey, Steen knows we needed some more of that blanky to blank, like tough stuff.
Yeah.
But then we get, of course, we appreciate everyone's participation, of course. From the 314, great, old school, air quotes, hockey. Never won a cup with that style. Pause.
What?
Hang on, Andrew, pause. Let's really absorb that for a second. The team in 2018-2019, the only Stanley Cup the Blues have ever won. Anthony, refresh my mind. Why were they able to beat the San Jose Sharks so handedly? Because the Sharks were more talented.
Yeah, no. Let me think. It was speed. It was elusiveness. It was high-end skill. Zero toughness. Zero physicality.
Yeah.
They barely touched those Sharks players. A lot of them, in fact, the Sharks players lasted the entire series. They weren't begging for the sweet release of death. A lot of top-end high skill.
Yeah, completely wrong. How about the fact that Sammy Blais, the very first game of the series, ran Erik Karlsson's head through the boards with a check, and then San Jose didn't even have enough guys to dress in Game 6. They had to dress an injured player, and the guys who were on the ice wanted no part of playing.
They bowed out.
And then the big bad Boston Bruins, they pushed everybody around. Not the Blues.
Guys are blanked.
In fact, you had two guys get suspended in that series for how physical they were.
Yeah, so, again, 314, we appreciate your participation, but it's not hard. It's not like the Blues have 10 Stanley Cups that you forgot about one of them. They have one, and that team was a black and blue hockey club.
Well, and, it's okay to mix skill and physicality. It's not like every single player on this team is going to run someone through the boards. That's why you create a team where every single player brings something to the table, but teams that lose are missing a key element. And so if you can get a mixture of all of that, that's how you get back to being a Stanley Cup contender.
Well, you look at back just 2019. I mean, it's the only cup we've won, so it's really easy to reference. But Ryan O'Reilly, hardly any penalty minutes, wasn't a guy that ran people over. You had Jaden Schwartz on that team. Vladimir Tarasenko wasn't a tough guy. You had a lot of guys on that team that weren't deemed to be scary to play against, but they competed at the highest level, and whatever their job was, they did it to the maximum of their ability, which means you're a tough team to play against.
Yeah.
And then when you add in the Sammy Blais, the Oscar Sundqvist, the Barbashev, the Maroon, the Steen playing out there, they were hitting everything that moved. Edmondson, Bortuzzo, Pietrangelo, now you've got a team that's big and physical. Without it being, you don't have to be just that. You have other elements too.
Yeah.
So to your point, it's like the proper way to build a team.
Yes. So wait, you're saying there's physical? The Blues are physical in 2019?
Very.
Write that down.
Yeah, make sure you write that down.
All right, that's your biggest question of the day. Speaking of Blues, we got Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider with The Athletic, who will join us next. Maybe he can clarify that whole discrepancy that we have with the Blues in 2019.
Let's
and
ask him about the World Cup.
How actually they won. Yep. JR next on 101 ESPN.
for the Rutherford Report on 101 ESPN.
Anything you folks want to know about the fascinating world of pro hockey? Here we go.
All right, let's head to the Calgary and Thompson phone line. We're joined by our guy, Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider with The Athletic. What's up, JR?
Oh, not too much, guys. How you guys doing on this? What day of the week is it? It's been really busy lately, and I have no idea what day of the week it is.
Come on, Jared. There's not a lot that's been happening this week, so really no excuse.
Right? Come on now. It is Thursday, and it is almost 4th of July. So, JR, you were on with the group that had the Mason McTavish press conference.
Yep.
And a lot of times these are, it's just everything's kind of surface level. Was there anything, though, that kind of stood out that caught your attention?
It's called a dog and pony show. That's what I've been calling them for years.
There you go. Yes.
It's a dog and pony show.
You found the words. I couldn't find the words for it. Nice job.
Yeah, no, and obviously, we're thankful to the Blues for putting Mason McTavish on the phone as he meets and greets St. Louis. Just what caught my attention is I think this is a player who, regardless of the trade, was going to put himself in better position next year in the NHL. Even if that was in Anaheim. He was disappointed in his season. I think BK Imperio had Craig Johnson, his former assistant coach in Anaheim, a couple years ago on today. And he said this is a guy who's always trying to get better, and last year didn't go well for him. So the trade's made. He comes to St. Louis, and as I'm writing my story right now that should be published in just a little bit, both Doug Armstrong and Alexander Steen said they could sense the hunger in McTavish to have a bounce-back year next year. So that's kind of what I took from it.
Yeah, I agree. And the one part that we highlighted here earlier that I liked, and I don't know if you caught it, JR, I'm sure you did, was that I forget who asked the question about last year or that particular one, and he started talking and then basically said, but it's on me. He's got to be better. And I just feel we just finished talking about Alex Steen and what he's been putting together here so far and what he's been preaching. And I just feel like at the core of what Steener's trying to accomplish right now is high character players. Are you getting that same feeling?
Yeah, are you looking over my shoulder? That's the 5th paragraph of my story. It's totally on me, McTavish said. I'm not saying it's anybody else's fault. Yeah, that's definitely something that stuck out too. Thanks for bringing that up. And yeah, I definitely get that. I've kind of got that impression. The Blues amateur scouting staff does a great job finding some character guys. Like, I've been really impressed. Jake Neighbors, Jimmy Snuggerud, Dalibor Dvorsky, a lot of these players that have come up in the past couple of years. And I realize they're wide-eyed and glad to be in the NHL, but these are character guys, and they're already, first, second year talking about what it means to wear the blue note. And I think that's what is going to stick out first and foremost with Alexander Steen as he begins to put his hands on this roster and bring in players who, because of that, are automatically, well, I shouldn't say automatically, but they're going to create a culture that just feeds off of that. And so it's not automatic because you do have to work at it and you do have to, bring people together and lead the right way. But I think it's something that's a byproduct of the type of player that you're bringing in. And by all accounts, McTavish is that type of guy.
So, Jared, my next one for you is, are we already seeing maybe a difference in philosophy between Steen and Army? Because, I think a lot of people are figuring it's just it's kind of like hair and makeup here a little bit. Army's still going to make the decisions. Steener's in a place where he's going to deal with the media and some of the smaller things. But I'm starting to see a little bit of a difference in philosophy because Steener did something in free agency that Doug Armstrong has never done. And he went and acquired flat-out toughness. He signed Ross Johnson to a 3-year deal, so not just a complimentary contract, a 3-year deal to make sure that there's somebody here that can finally keep the flies off the good players.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, a lot of people are talking and wondering about Alexander Steen and what kind of say, and, does he have the ability to make the moves that he wants to make? And guys, I've known Alexander Steen since he came to St. Louis in 2008. I don't pretend to know, every decision he's going to make as Blues general manager. But I know one thing is he would not have taken this job if he weren't able to make the decisions as the GM. And so as you see the moves that he makes, I think we're going to see some moves that are different than what Doug Armstrong has made. Now, they are in lockstep on a lot of things, and they do communicate well, and they've talked about that, recently. But in the last year or two, just being around the rink, not even talking to Alexander Steen, you just hear people say he wants more toughness. And that doesn't necessarily mean bring in, Tony Twist, but it just means bring in people who are willing to play tough. And I think we've seen that with McTavish. We're going to see it with Johnston. And I think that Johnston brings that extra element, an enforcer type that Steen believes that this team needs. And that is going away from what we've seen with these teams recently under Doug Armstrong. But to be fair, I will say that, sometimes the game itself just gets away from that. And like Kelly Chase will tell you, it's always going to swing back to it. And, I think we've seen a few of those around the league, and the Blues feel like they need one.
Jeremy Rutherford joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. JR does a fantastic job covering the Blues at The Athletic. JR, all right, let's look forward now. Jamie's mentioned this a couple times. They got an abundance of they've got like one too many players right now. Eventually they're going to have to make decisions on some of these guys because the depth is nice, but obviously you can only play with so many. What moves do you see forthcoming here? Any other trades? Free agency probably quiet. What could we expect moving forward this offseason?
Yeah, I think free agency is going to be quiet after what we saw. I mean, that's kind of an obvious statement there just because there's not many players left and players that would fit what the Blues are trying to do. So I think they got the players that they wanted, and now they're going to continue to look at the roster and maybe still have some talks around the league to see if deals that maybe they've talked about the past few months with teams are a possibility if they still think that they need to make a move. There's a defenseman in Carolina, Alexander Nikishin, who's a good player, just won a Stanley Cup, a young player. Is there room in Carolina for him, or is there a package that the Blues could come up with where they could bring him to St. Louis? I know they've been involved in those talks. But I think that, like Doug Armstrong said a week ago, like you wake up after the draft and after the start of free agency to see what your war chest looks like. And if you look at what the Blues have, you're right. It looks like there's one or two extra forwards, that maybe you could find some sort of package. But I'll say this, Alexander Steen made a great point is they want to have an identity, and he feels like they've got multiple players who could come in and out of the lineup and the team can still stick to its identity. So you look at some of those forwards, those bottom six forwards that the Blues have. Yeah, there's not room for all of them, but for the ones that are here in St. Louis, he feels like they can play the type of game that he wants them to play. So I wouldn't, put it past the Blues to make another move before we see the opening night roster. But I think for the most part, they like what they've done so far.
Jared, the Nikishin topic is intriguing. And just out of curiosity, what do you think the offer would have to look like to go to Carolina in order to acquire said player?
Yeah, and then so they have, obviously, they're coming off the Stanley Cup. They have a great roster, and he could still be a part of that roster, no problem. They could hang on to him. But I know he'd probably like to have a bigger role somewhere, and, how much that weighs in his ability to move, we'll see. But looking at some sort of potential deal. Look, the Blues have a lot of good young defensemen coming up. We've already seen Lindstein. We're going to see Juracek. You got Mayu. Would Carolina be interested in a young player like Lindstein? I don't know. They probably want to keep that championship window going. And do they have time, for a younger guy like Lindstein to kind of break in, or do they like a Cam Fowler, or do they like a Hughes Suter? Do they like one of those extra forwards up front? So I don't know exactly what they'd be looking for, but I think the Blues have different options that could give them players, veterans who could help them now, or if they're considering a young player, like a Lindstein, perhaps you can make a switch. And for anybody who's saying, you can't move Lindstein, great ceiling, we saw that last year. The same player, the same situation with Nikishin, who's, just went the distance and won a cup with Carolina. He'd be a great ad.
JR, anything else that has stood out to you about either the Blues offseason or what they could be doing moving forward?
No, I just think that, they're sticking with the goaltending tandem. Talked to Alexander Steen about that. They like both guys. They want to bring them back. They brought in Carlo, so you've got some stability back there on D. You're not going to have to rush Juracek, and now you got a lot of bodies up front. So that's what Alexander Steen said he wanted to do, is create a training camp that's going to have a lot of internal competition. That's what they look to do every year. I think this roster today looks better than it did at the end of last year. They've had the turnover. They've handed it over to the younger players. And the one thing, and Jamie, you'll attach yourself to this, as Doug Armstrong said the other day, that you're building a situation where you've got a bunch of friends growing together, and you don't want to let friends down. And I think that's what's going to contribute to that culture that we were talking about earlier. A lot of these players in the Blues system, the young guys under 25, have already started to grow up together, and now they're going to be put in some roles, and I think the Blues are willing to kind of give it to them and see where it can go.
All right, JR, have you gotten into the World Cup?
I have, yeah. I didn't know how much I would, but it was great to watch that win last night. Although I got to say, I know you guys probably talked about it ad nauseum, but how anybody can think that player, intentionally stepped on the guy's leg, it's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah. He's suspended for the Belgium game too, so it's just
unbelievable.
Not great at all. I think everybody's like, well, the letter of the law, I guess, sure, but it feels like almost to a person, everybody feels as though that shouldn't have been a red card. So yeah. So that's for my untrained eye, but so sorry, soccer folks, if that's where I see it, but I don't see how that's an intentional play, and then to sit out the next game, that's just ridiculous. Absolutely. Yeah, somebody should lose their job. There's no doubt. Multiple people, probably. Yeah. All right, JR, we appreciate you. Have a great fourth, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Yep, you guys do. See you.
All right, thank you. That's our guy, Jeremy Rutherford, at JP Rutherford on X. He does great work with the Athletic.
It's a busy week.
Yeah, it is. So we need a new Beat the Street contestant. Again, 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you want to play Beat the Streak, we're going to play that next. Just make sure you text in. You have an opportunity to play. Again, Beat the Streak next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Take back your yard from all those nasty little critters that are uninvited to your property. I'm talking about mosquitoes, ticks, ants, spiders, roaches, mice, moles, any of those things that you're experiencing. Get rid of them. The easiest way to do that, call my friends at Amco Ranger. Family-owned business for 60 years now. You don't do that by mistake, and I can tell you firsthand, their customer service is fantastic. They've been up to my house a couple times. The other day, I texted my representative, say, hey, I think I've got mole action again in one little part of my yard. Came out that afternoon, checked it out, gave me a full report, and we'll check back again next week. They're awesome. They're the best. I've had other companies, but they don't even come close to what Amco Ranger has provided for me and my property, and also protecting my yard and my animals and dogs and all that stuff. Just getting rid of the ones that don't belong there. So please give them a call. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. Their number is 636-441-2847. That's 636-441-2847. Or you can always visit AmcoRanger.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. The Cardinals take on the Atlanta Braves tonight with Dustin May on the mound. First pitch tonight from Atlanta is at 6:15. If you have missed anything from today's show, including our 2 interviews, one with Chris Kerber and Jeremy Rutherford, we also had the introductory press conference for Mason McTavish. If you missed anything from today's show, including our soccer talk, go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our shows and all of our interviews. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
Hit baseballs. All of my successes depend on me.
You're ready to hit.
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
All right, time for Beat the Streak here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN, and we got John on the line. What's up, John?
Hey, how y'all doing, man?
Doing great. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for playing. Marsh, what do we got for latest streaks?
Man, Carey's not here today, but he is rolling and beat the streak. He has upped his streak now to 9. Jamie, you are at 1.
Let's go.
And all of us are at 0.
All right, so this is how it's going to work. Carey's going to go first, Jamie second. John, you're going to go third, because we always, if everything's equal, we'll give it to the listener, then Marsh, and then me.
All right.
So let's see here. Carey texted us earlier. Beat the streak. He wants Austin Riley. So he takes Austin Riley, who is now off the board. Jamie?
Me? All right. I'm doubling down. Give me that Herrera.
Herrera.
I'm also going to double down today with Alec Burleson. Oh, I'm sorry.
John's up.
That's right. Oh, my gosh.
John, I apologize. Marsh
is thinking.
He's a little hyped up because.
Totally fine, because I want Alec Burleson.
Oh, I love it, John. Nice job. Good for you. All right, Marsh. After trying to snake Burley from our guy John.
I know. I'll take Jordan Walker.
I'll take Ozzie Albies. He had a decent game last night, guys. Decent.
Yeah.
Boy, was he hitting the ball.
Yeah, pretty good. All right, so Carey took Austin Riley. Jamie took Ivan Herrera. Marsh tried to steal Alec Burleson until John said, not
today.
John took Alec Burleson. Marsh went with Jordan Walker, and I took Ozzie Albies. John, good luck to you, man. I hope you get a hit, and then we'll have you back on Monday.
Say hi to my wife, Michelle. She loves you.
Oh, thank you, guys. Thank you. So, Michelle, shout out to Michelle.
Hi.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey.
Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Later.
See you, John.
See you, John.
All right, there you go. There is Beat the Streak. We are in a contract dispute right now over Bet the Board.
Well, what Andrew and I really didn't appreciate from you and Carey, quite honestly, is while we were with a scheduled day off, not just like we weren't sick and something came up that day. No, it was a scheduled day off, which you have to schedule. What was that, Mark? 2 weeks in advance, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. And while we were gone, you and Carey decided you're changing Bet the Board. You don't get to do that.
And he sprung it right on us.
Sprung it on us, and then you didn't tell me or Marshy anything. And they were at Ballpark Village, live audience. The timing was terrible, and I still don't understand what the hell you're trying to do.
That's because you won't listen, and that's the problem when it comes to these negotiations.
No. To defend my guy, it was loud.
And I'm getting cut off.
It was loud there, Anthony.
You know, God gave us all 2 ears and one mouth, all right? So we could listen more than we speak.
What would you do if you had 2 mouths? Like, what if you had, like, a mouth on, like, where it is, and then another one, like, on your forehead? Let's just pretend that's how humans were made.
I wouldn't leave the house.
What mouth do you feed first?
I'd be a bit of a freak.
Or does it matter?
Well, no, you wouldn't, though. We'd all have 2 mouths.
Oh, we'd all have 2 mouths.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't probably eat more.
Would you, though? Your stomach's the same size.
Listen, Jamie, I don't know. You're throwing all this at me right now.
It costs you more than toothbrushes, though.
It certainly would.
And toothpaste, for sure.
Double the time at the dentist.
Double the time brushing your teeth. Well, I thought you got 2 hands. You could brush both mouths at the same time.
Probably not effectively, though.
Depends if you can go left and right.
Well, if you can, but typically you're better with one side than the other.
Typically. Unless you work
More
real
efficient.
hard. Yeah. Then you can be good with both hands.
Mm-hmm. Depends on how determined you are.
Which is true. How much work you're willing to put into it.
But anyways, Marsh.
Yeah.
If I may.
No.
Jamie, when he wanted to implement new rules, they were done instantly.
I filed the proper paperwork.
We didn't even have a discussion over it. It was just, hey, you should get a parlay at the end. And who has benefited the most on that? You.
Okay.
That is true.
But wait. Marshy, when I suggested said change, it was met with open arms in a discussion form. I didn't do it while you weren't here. You didn't show up on Monday and we had a new format.
Well, maybe I just should have started yelling at you as soon as you opened up discussions and just shot it all down without even
yelling
listening.
at you was loud in there at Ballpark Village.
Well, that's because I was willing Team Belgium to a victory.
Boy, you were sure doing something.
It
Senegal,
worked.
by the way, we got an email from the president of Senegal.
Not happy?
Not happy with you.
Well, maybe his guys shouldn't just walk off next time.
Yeah. Put it next to all the other emails.
We're starting to build a file here.
Now, in fairness to my partner here, we had 2 days before Wednesday to get these rules cleared up.
We did.
Yeah.
I didn't hear one thing about it.
Not a damn thing.
It's not like yesterday was Monday. It was Wednesday. Hump day.
And then all of a sudden we're there, and by the way, there's new rules. Whoa. What do you mean there's new rules? I didn't even heard it. I couldn't even agree or disagree to it. It was brand new material. In a court of law, Anthony, see, the 2 lawyers, they're obligated to present any findings to the opposition so that there's nothing that can be a surprise in the courtroom that would be deemed an advantage to said person. So therefore, when you just sprung it on Marshy and I on Wednesday without any information being exchanged, the judge would not allow that. There's not a judge in this country that would allow that. So it's not me speaking. It's the United States of America that is speaking. And by the way, the United States of America is turning 250 years old on Saturday.
Damn right.
Like hell if I'm going to break the constitutional rights the week of that damn birthday. No way. USA. 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 USA.
Well, that being said, it doesn't change the fact that you're still guilty, okay?
Wow.
Well, that's fine. The other lawyer always calls the other lawyer wrong. It's the judge that matters.
Look, I can't come back from the USA chant. I really, I just can't. Once you play that card and play it well, and you did play that well, there's no rebuttal here.
Trying to explain these rules to my partner here
from the Canadian
is might as well be more difficult for him to understand than him trying to work a computer. That's how difficult you explained it yesterday.
Somehow I feel like I was just insulted.
I didn't even get the words out. And yeah, that was a total crap sandwich.
Yeah, what are we
you got
doing
both
here?
of us on that.
And second thought, I think we do it.
Thank you.
I think we change a lot of the odds. Every day we're given a certain amount of money, and if you lose, you're deducted that certain amount. And of course, Marshall, you're going to do a hell of a job keeping track of it all.
That's what happens when you're the arbitrator in this situation.
Yeah, more
you
work.
thought I was on his side. I was actually the arbitrator.
Yeah, more work just gets dumped on your lap.
You're welcome.
So what are we doing?
We don't know.
I don't know. I'm not ready to make a decision.
Honestly,
and Carey's not here either.
We should probably just keep it as is for another month. Just keep kicking this can down the road.
We'll have to have that in legal writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like that something done properly around here.
You know what? All in favor of keeping Bet the Board the way it is. I'll say aye.
I say aye, but I feel you don't have Carey here.
Well, 3 or 4. That's what happens. 3 or 4. Majority rules. Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, let's wrap up. Let's wrap up this show. Let's put a bow on this show. What's going on?
That's funny.
Well, actually, we'll use it for criticisms and compliments.
All right. Hey, don't forget, you can join BK and Ferrario this Monday night with the Michelob Ultra at Hot Shots. Fenton, as this U.S. men's soccer team takes on Belgium in the round of 16. BK, Alex, and Michelob Ultra will be on site with Michelob giveaways starting at 6 p.m. with kickoff of the U.S. match versus Belgium at 7 p.m. Michelob Ultra is a superior light beer and the official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 26. So be sure to enjoy an Ultra as you cheer on your favorite team. That's this Monday starting at 6 p.m. with BK and Ferrario and Michelob Ultra at the Hot Shots in Fenton for the U.S. match against Belgium starting at 7 p.m. Get all the details now at 101ESPN.com. Criticisms and compliments and 3 stars next on 101 ESPN. If you missed anything from today's show, including us talking more soccer than we've ever talked in our lives, as well as being yelled at by a soccer fan and us yelling back, make sure you download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or via the 101 ESPN mobile app, which is powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. All the podcast, of course, brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Marsh, why don't you go ahead and hit us with those criticisms and or compliments?
Criticisms and compliments.
The last MySpace user says, I don't even know what the hell you guys are arguing with or about, but Anthony just got cooked.
Oh, I totally did. I got Jimmy cooked on that one. Jimmy Crooks cooked.
Mark.
I got Dalvin cooked. By the Canadian who was shouting about freedom and the American way. It's beautiful.
America.
Curbstomp says, today's show as a whole, FIFA red card.
Yes.
Was a heat wave banger. My apologies for texting in earlier with incorrect facts. I know this is a stats and facts show, so I apologize. Let's go Cardinals.
So Curbstomp earlier, when we were having the debate or the discussion of the Miracle on Ice team versus USMNT team, he goes, well, yeah, but the soccer team's playing in the U.S.
Oh.
I wrote back, so did the hockey team. Anyway,
Lake Placid.
Yeah. But we forgive Curbstomp.
Yeah, no doubt.
We all say things. Just listen to us,
Yeah. Say things once a segment. It's factually incorrect.
The 314 says, I thought we already did criticisms. LOL.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of, yeah.
Sometimes the show becomes one big criticism. It's fun, though.
Grant Francis Fan Club. Criticism. Can't stand these stupid soccer fans. Because of them, you had to spend a whole segment telling them they and their sport are awful. And you didn't have time to get the real sports in the six-pack part 2.
That's true.
Sports six-pack.
That's true.
There may have been a soccer question in the sports six-pack, so we missed out on that.
That's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it just me, or is it just that intense soccer fan? I'm not saying all soccer fans. I'm talking about the intense soccer fan.
I think it's just that, because we got a clear visual of text messages following from several different numbers that agreed with our take. And I can tell you by sitting with numerous people who were watching soccer last night, I wouldn't even call them soccer fans.
Right.
They were watching soccer, cheering on Team USA. I think there's more of those people than there are the hardcore, get out of my lane, I'm the true soccer person.
Very true.
Yeah, well, it's funny you bring that up. The 314 said earlier, my guess is your analytics might show that those 5 people would like soccer are more desirable listeners than the 300 that don't.
For one thing, listen, all of our listeners are desirable. We love them all.
Tell 3 of your friends.
Tell 3 of your friends and have them tell 3 friends, please.
Wait a second. They said the 5 people who love soccer are more important than the 300 that don't?
It falls in line.
That's what I just read, yeah.
Okay. Do you remember earlier I used a certain word in describing that person?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd like to add another.
Oh.
If you don't mind.
I don't mind.
In fact, I think I have to add 2. Blissfully unaware. Honestly, it's one of my biggest pet peeves when somebody's not self-aware. When you're not self-aware.
Yeah.
Those are the people that I feel like need to be smacked the most.
And there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think it's arrogance, but it's not always. It's no self-awareness.
Zero.
And then you pause for a second sometimes when they speak.
Yeah.
Waiting for them to laugh almost. Like
right.
It's a joke. I'm being sarcastic.
You guys know I love hyperbole.
Absolutely.
If you're going so far over the top, I appreciate that, right?
Yeah, lean into it.
Like, holy smokes, I don't know if you're serious or not. And then eventually you break and you're like, oh, dude, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
But then they don't. And then you realize that they really do believe that they are smarter, more sophisticated, higher human race, like, altogether. And you're like, oh, wow. You need to be backhanded right now.
Twice. Got 2 hands.
Not punched.
No.
But slapped.
Open hand is fine. What could go wrong?
Right. Man.
By the way, so Thanks Dad says, plucky and not self-aware. If you were watching the broadcast last night on Fox, like very early into the broadcast, the word plucky was used.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Fast lane listeners.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yep.
Who were they describing?
Team USA.
Nice.
Like,
yeah.
You know, in the past, I guess.
In the past? I would not describe them plucky in the past.
Well, to get to where they're at, like they have gone from a plucky team to now they are what they are now.
Okay. This exact team then?
Like, well, not this exact team, but like the United States as a whole.
Carey.
Soccer guy.
Nice. Okay.
You know, playing to a draw.
Thank you.
Multiple times, but being able to get to the knockout stage.
All right.
Without like they had a pretty like they won after 2 matches. They were the top seed.
Okay.
They put themselves in that situation rather than being plucky and making it to the knockout stage without being dominant.
All right.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah, it does. I don't know if I agree, but it does. It makes sense. Sure. Well, and sure.
Smells Like Teen Spirit says, great show today, boys. Have a great, safe holiday weekend.
You as well. Yeah, happy 4th to everybody. Be safe out there.
636 says, you guys are the best, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Man, thank you.
Appreciate
Means a lot.
that.
Hell yeah. Means a lot.
Anthony says it all the time, so it's nice to see somebody agree with him.
I say what you need to hear.
That was awesome. I have nothing. I can't even be angry. That was fantastic.
It's like your rant on America.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Let me clap.
Yeah.
You know? All right. Fire away, Marsh. 3 stars.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 stars of the day, presented by Circus Sports. No bet fees ever with the world's largest sports book, now at your fingertips in Illinois and Missouri.
Some people might not agree with this, but our 3rd star of the day, we're going to have to give it to the soccer guy email. That took some time to write up. We got to give him credit.
Waste of time. Could have been doing so much more productive things.
That's how they wanted to spend the time, though.
You're right. They chose.
They chose it.
Yeah. It's true. Life's
I'm
full
so
of
mad.
choices.
I'm going to send an email. Okay.
Can you imagine sending? Hang on. Can we just
write a letter?
Let's just pause that for a second. You sent an email.
Yeah.
To a radio station.
That's correct.
Why?
Well, about content, too,
to
not
our
about
bosses,
something.
too.
You could send an email
Right.
like, hey, I'm very offended by something somebody said. This is about content. Though.
Yeah, I don't like the content on it's a free, by the way.
I don't get it. Like
Public radio, it's free.
you sat at home or you pulled your car over.
Yeah.
And you broke out your email.
Right.
And you wrote a sternly written email to 101 ESPN, care of Mike Ryder.
Yeah. Apparently, the other one was sent to Tommy Mattern, our boss. Didn't even send like the show an email. Sent the bosses an email. I'm so hopping mad.
By the way, a little peek behind the curtain. Tommy loves it when he gets those emails.
Those were doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our 3rd star. 2nd star of the day goes out to Mike Ryder for getting me this new dry erase marker.
He got that within 30 seconds.
Pretty quick.
It's unbelievable. Somebody brought up the fact that it took an hour to get a mic fixed, but
Ryder, boom.
Mike himself,
yes,
boom, 30 seconds later.
And by the way, Mike Ryder's not in charge of the mics and things like that. No.
We're not allowed to touch those things.
I mean, there's a chance that 3rd piece of audio would not have been played had it not been for the
new marker.
The new marker.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't have been able to win the Gauntlet today without that new marker.
I wouldn't have teased BTS either.
Yeah.
Which is beat the streak.
Mm-hmm. And our 1st star of the day goes out to the guy in the future that changes the rules of soccer.
Yes, changes that silly offside rule. Whoever that guy who has enough huevos rancheros to do it.
Well said. Well said. Hey, we appreciate each and every one of you. We really do. Have a happy 4th of July. We are off tomorrow. Got some best of shows coming at you. So we hope that if you do get some time to spend with the family and celebrate this incredible country, that you do so in a safe manner, because we all want to see you again or hear or listen to you again on Monday. Or read your text or emails if you choose to write us an email.
All the above, man. Enjoy the time with friends and family. Just don't be stupid, man.
Yeah.
Don't be.
Life is precious.
Nobody drinking and driving out there and firing off fireworks into people. And just have 250 be memorable for all the right reasons.
Yes, no doubt. Absolutely. What's the drink of choice this weekend, guys?
Yes.
Got to be beer, right?
Oh, I've already got this Wickle Light on ice.
There you go.
Got those big coolers in back.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen them. And I think we might fire up the slushy machine. Like to do the margarita slushies.
Sure.
In there. pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. It's always kind of a Mexican theme at the Rivers household.
We like the margaritas. We like tequila.
Yeah.
We kind of like alcohol.
I like it.
Yeah.
Happy 4th, everybody. See you.